ceased development of a new cruise missile. Moscow has repeatedly denied claims that it's in violation of the treaty. The withdrawal will formally take place on Saturday. President Donald Trump said the United States' NATO allies support the decision to withdraw from the treaty. The U.S. has also expressed concerns that its compliance with the treaty has benefited China, which isn't a party to the agreement. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And Liberty Beat listeners right now can save 10% at checkout by using promo code SNLS. This is the weekend edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news. In a surprising vote Thursday, the United States Senate voted 68-23 to pass a resolution from Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, expressing opposition to President Trump's plan to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria, and expressing opposition to any theoretical pullout from Afghanistan that might result from a negotiated deal to end that war. The anti-media, citing antiwar.com, reports the non-binding resolution was passed with overwhelming support from the Republican majority, setting them squarely against parts of President Trump's foreign policy. A number of Democrats who voted against it expressed concern that it was tantamount to a vote advocating a state of permanent war. The 2001 authorization for the Afghan war was built around 9/11 and the defeat of al-Qaeda. Neither are hugely relevant issues in 2019 Afghanistan, and a peace treaty being negotiated centers heavily around the Taliban, promising to keep al-Qaeda and ISIS out of the country in the future. Congress never actually authorized the war in Syria at all, dodging that obligation repeatedly because of political concerns. President Obama invaded Syria unilaterally to fight ISIS, and President Trump has declared ISIS effectively defeated now that they virtually have no territory remaining. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. It's simple. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details on how to raise your business's profile in partnership with the Liberty Beat. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the weekend edition of the Liberty Beat for the week ending Friday, February 1st, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Sources at the video streaming service Netflix reported today that they had sent local man Shane Fowler a personal message earlier just checking to see if everything was okay after the 31-year-old watched an entire season of the FX program Sons of Anarchy in a single viewing session.
Well, we happened to notice that Shane had been sitting in front of his laptop and had burned through all 13 episodes of the first season of Sons of Anarchy. So we thought maybe we could send him a note and just sort of make sure he was doing all right, or if he needed someone to talk to or something.
Netflix says the message, which Fowler received minutes after he finished viewing the season 1 finale of the motorcycle gang drama, was just a way for the company to see if there was anything they could do for their longtime subscriber.
I mean, we do this stuff all the time. Just last year, Mike Ralston from Bartlesville, Oklahoma, watched all 4 seasons of The Tudors after his wife left him. We were there for him. We just like to check in on our customers from time to time.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You're invited to join us here if you want. It is, of course, Super Bowl Sunday. So if you're watching the big game and listening to Free Talk Live at the same time, I appreciate that. Thank you for being out there tonight, because we are here live as we always are every single day, no matter what day it is, what holiday or what special events or whatever. We're here to do live talk radio with you, and the we tonight is me, Ian, but I've got a special guest co-host, Rich E. Rich.
The one and only.
Welcome.
Hopefully not a special guest. Let's hope this audition goes well.
All right, you're auditioning.
I'm auditioning.
Fair enough. You are actually all the way out from Manchester, New Hampshire, so you did a little drive to get here tonight.
Yeah, not so bad. by way of Honolulu, Hawaii, if that matters to people.
Yeah, well, we were going to get into a little bit of your history and like who you are. You are the host of your own podcast called The Anarchist Experience.
Yes, sir.
And that is one of the shows that is featured on LRN.FM, the Liberty Radio Network. And you've been doing that show for how long now?
Almost 4 years now.
Congratulations.
We did episode 201 yesterday, and
That's a big deal.
We're pretty consistent on a weekly basis.
So every week, so 52 weeks a year. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Very nice. And you came out here as part of this migration of libertarian people that are coming to New Hampshire.
Yes, sir. The Free State Project. Can we say that on
You
your show?
can,
Okay.
absolutely. That's the reason I came here. And then you did that late last year, or late summertime.
Yeah, we landed
right?
in Manchester September, last week of September, and got settled in.
And by landed, you mean you drove across the country?
Yes. So we picked up our car in Long Beach, California, did 14 states and Canada. We went to Niagara Falls for a couple days over the weekend there, and then landed in Manchester.
And how has it been so far?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, me and my wife were reflecting on it, and I'm sure she gets a little bit homesick. But for myself, it's getting to the point where I'm only 4 or 5 months in, but I can't imagine my life prior to the move.
Really? And now you spent your whole life in Hawaii?
I went to college in Washington State, graduated from Gonzaga. So I spent a few years like on the mainland.
Yeah.
But yeah, born and raised in Hawaii, my whole life there.
Now, Washington State does get kind of cold, right?
Yeah, so that was a big thing when people came, when we moved, people were like, oh, what are you going to do about the cold? I'm like, well, been there, done that, number one. My wife, not so much, but myself, been there, done that. And they go, well, have you ever been as cold as like northeastern cold? Mm-hmm. I go, well, it got down to negative 20 one year that we were in Washington, Spokane, Washington.
Yeah.
So... And
that's the colder part of the state too, right? Spokane.
Yeah. It's more northern and eastern part, closer to Idaho than it is Seattle. Seattle's more rainy, I guess, the coastal weather, kind of just more rain, less snow.
So, obviously we're in the midst of wintertime, and you don't seem unhappy.
No, not at all.
To be here amidst
Chipper.
it. Yeah, good. All right, so we're doing Free Talk Live, which means it's open phones, as it always is. We'll take your calls and thoughts about everything that you want to discuss. We're going to go to the calls. Actually, we already have Tom on the line in New Hampshire, but I want to talk about this $23 million pedestrian bridge. We mentioned it briefly last night when we talked about this ridiculous stadium that they built, taxpayers, of course, paid to build in Atlanta, which is where they're playing tonight's Super Bowl. And they also paid $23 million for a so-called pedestrian bridge that links the stadium to a nearby public transit station. And if that were all there was to the story, it would be outrageous enough that they paid $23 million for a simple bridge. That on its own is a boondoggle, but there's more to this story, and we'll get into that coming up here. Also, Rich Paul joining us. So we actually have two Riches on the show tonight. So I'm just going to refer to you guys by your full name, just to keep things as simple as possible. And I'm also going to unmute your mic, Rich, so we can actually hear what you're saying. So hey,
are you sure you want to do that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
hot mic.
We're going to Tom in New Hampshire to start things out here tonight. Go ahead, Tom. You're on Free Talk Live with Ian and two Riches.
Okay, you're walking into the supermarket, and some people have a table out there. They're selling candy bars. They say that they're raising money for muscular dystrophy. You think it would be nice to buy some candy bars to help them raise money for muscular dystrophy?
Is that a question? I mean, that sounds nice, I guess. I don't know if I want candy bars, though, right now.
Well, most of us would prefer to help raise money to defeat muscular dystrophy. Okay, it would be silly. So, see, this is the trick question. However, there's a football game going on
Semantical
right now.
game.
Yes.
And when that game is over, some sporting goods stores all over the place are going to be opening up and immediately offering merchandise with the name of the winning team as winning that game. Mm-hmm. And what they're doing is they're raising money for concussions. Okay, they're raising money for concussions. You might go to a concert where they're raising money to defeat multiple sclerosis, but when you buy a ticket to a football game, that's a fundraiser that's raising money for concussions.
As in, if you're paying that organization, you're encouraging them to have men concuss themselves or be concussed?
To get concussions, I'm not sure the exact word forms on that one, but concussions, you're promoting concussions by buying that merchandise or by patronizing.
Some people, that's exactly what they want to see. That's why people go to boxing matches, right?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of combat sports.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, then people need to think about that. They get there's a lot of pressure to push guys into playing football. It seems to be a lot of rewards that not just there's big money in pro football, but there's the cheerleaders at high school football and junior high school football. And
that can be a motivating factor for some.
I'm not sure where your call is going, Tom. I'm not really even sure the point that you're trying to make here.
Is don't encourage people, don't buy merchandise that's being sold to raise money for concussion.
Okay, but Richie Rich, you say you're a big fan of combat sports, so
I am.
You would disagree with Tom that you should be spending money on those things.
Well, should is a strong word.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of freedom to choose and associate as you will. So whereas I choose to support combat sport organizations, some people choose to support football organizations. And so long as the athletes aren't being forced to compete, gladiator style, as slaves, I don't see a problem, because from their perspective, you have to understand that they've likely weighed the cost and benefits,
the risk of a concussion or worse
versus the money that they're making for the sport.
I got to admit, I would be completely down if they built a coliseum and sent guys in there with swords to, whack each other with his swords, so long as they were willing participants.
There's medieval mixed martial arts.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd also be all right if they would just send politicians in with swords to whack each other, whether they were willing or not.
I don't care about their choices because, they take away my choices. So if they get, forced into blood sport, I think that would be great. Can you imagine Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton fighting it to the death with carrot peelers? I would love that.
Are you calling for a return of celebrity boxing?
I'm calling for real life celebrity death match, complete with all the horrible things that you've seen on Celebrity Deathmatch many of which I can't say on the radio.
Yeah, it's been a long time. That's been a long time since that show's been on, hasn't it? That was late 90s?
I heard
early aughts?
Yeah, I think I heard it was back.
Huh.
I heard that too. Yeah, I think they're bringing it back, the claymation and everything.
Tom, thanks for the call tonight. Not sure what the point was. I guess he's against concussions. He's anti-concussion.
Well, it sounds like he was anti-football because of the concussions. Like I think from his perspective, he sees the risk inherent in the sports, and if he has concern for the children, right? You don't want to encourage that sort of long-term damage in high school sports.
Well,
right?
I mean, the odds are you're never going to make it to pro football levels. Right. If you're into sports, the chances that you're going to get to the pro level are very, very slim. So is it really worth the damage that could be done before you get there, before you ever make a single dollar?
I think that was his point. Yeah,
maybe. But for some people, the fun is. For some people, the competitive aspect, the girls, maybe. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. And the access to the $23 million bridge. We'll tell you about it coming up.
What is it costing you in vet bills for that convenience of just pulling open a bag of
formulated, extruded, processed cereal bits that cost a ton of money anyways?
How do you feed your dog to derive not only energy, but a good coat, bright eyes, and a great attitude?
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
I found his raw meat diet on Dynovite.com.
With just the raw meat and the eggs and the Dynovite and the Super Omega on top of it.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Ground beef, white rice, eggs, including the shells, and the Dynovite supplement, and then the Lico Chops.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
It just balances out his body and his mind and his spirit.
Adding Dynovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
Their skin is so much better now that they're on the raw diet I don't even give them the kibble anymore.
DINOVITE.com.
Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. Smart Cash also features smart rewards, a price stabilization mechanism, and a way to encourage long-term holding. Long-term holders are key to the project's success. You can earn smart rewards on any address for which you hold the private keys, which holds at least 1,000 smart for 1 month and does not make any outgoing transactions during that time. Smart rewards are distributed every 47,500 blocks to all eligible addresses. Learn more at smartcash.cc.
You want to know the 37 items you must have to survive a crisis? Then I've got some good news for you. Former CIA officer and New York Times best-selling author Jason Hansen is now giving listeners a free copy of his book, The Escape Bag Blueprint, 37 Items You Must Have to Survive a Crisis. You can claim your copy at freeescapebook.com. Don't delay. Jason reveals the guns, knives, flashlights, and water filters that could save your life in an economic collapse or grid-down event. Get your free book today, freeescapebook.com. freeescapebook.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. LRN.fm now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin. mymagicmud.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll free, bring up whatever you want. Our number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. In the studio with you tonight, I'm Ian.
Rich Paul.
Richie Rich.
All right, so you can bring up whatever is on your mind. We're talking about the Super Bowl bridge, the $23 million. Now, it's not a bridge to nowhere. This one actually goes somewhere. It's just you're not allowed to use it.
Oh, okay. That clarifies things.
Yeah. So in anticipation of hosting this year's Super Bowl at the brand new Mercedes-Benz Stadium, this is from Reason.com, by the way, the city of Atlanta spent more than $23 million to build a pedestrian bridge linking the stadium to the nearby Vine City Public Transit Station, allowing fans to cross a busy street without needing a crosswalk. The bridge was originally supposed to cost $13 million. Of course, it's government, so we know that the costs are going to be way over whatever it was that were originally projected.
Gotta have those payoffs. You know, those you can't put them in the budget, but people have got to be paid off, or they're not going to let you do it.
Well, plus, if the construction company just runs into trouble, they can raise the price tag halfway through, the gig. Like, what are you going to do? They got you over a barrel, and they know they're going to get the money because it's the government and it's a good old boy club. So it's already pretty pricey for a simple pedestrian crossing over a 4-lane road, but city officials approved the extra $10 million in funding to ensure the project would be finished in time for the big game. The Serpentine Bridge, decked out with dazzling customizable LED lights and wrapped with diamond-shaped aluminum panels, did indeed get finished in time for the Super Bowl, but it won't be used by the vast majority of the expected 80,000 people heading to the game on Sunday. Because of its location adjacent to the stadium, the bridge has been deemed a security risk and will therefore be closed to everyone except for credentialed staff and media, according to the AJC.
Oh, wow. Now, do we get media credentials?
I don't know how you would get that for the Super Bowl. That's probably not easy.
Probably not. So it's only the government-approved media who gets these. Okay,
Yeah,
I see.
So if you are in the club, you can use the pedestrian bridge, the $23 million fancy flashing light pedestrian bridge. Otherwise, sorry.
So what are the pedestrians using then? Are they crossing the 4-lane busy highway?
Yeah, you'd have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
But always remember what Carlin said. It's a big club. You will never, ever be in it.
Yeah. Fans heading to the Super Bowl will have to enter through various security checkpoints well outside of the stadium grounds. That means anyone arriving at the Vine City Station on the other side of the $23 million pedestrian bridge will get to admire a very expensive piece of public art as they cross the street the old-fashioned way through the bridge, though the bridge will be, quote, open for attendees to exit at the conclusion of the game. So you can leave over the bridge maybe, but you can't go in that way. Even by Atlanta standards, paying $23 million to build a bridge that no one can use is a pretty incredible screw-up. This is, after all, the same city that spent $98 million building a streetcar line that's literally useless for anyone except tourists. It runs a 2.7-mile loop downtown around the Coca-Cola Museum, Centennial Olympic Park, and the new football stadium. Then they closed the streetcar when some 100,000 tourists descended on the city for last year's college football national championship games. So $98 million to build the streetcar, and then when they were the busiest that they'd been, they just shut it down. Just outside the city, the Atlanta Braves' new stadium, a disaster for taxpayers and fans in several ways, has its own issues with a pedestrian bridge that was supposed to connect the stadium with a large parking garage on the opposite side of Interstate 285. The bridge wasn't ready until the Braves' second season at Sun Life Park, leaving the team with inadequate parking and forcing fans to play a human version of Frogger when the new field opened. Despite those issues, their pedestrian bridge across 8 lanes of highway only cost $11 million, less than half of the final price tag for the now useless pedestrian bridge at the Falcons' new stadium, which crosses just 4 lanes of the city street.
Why are they okay? I get the story, but when they say useless, it's never going to be used for.
No, it'll be used, just not the. They
just
wanted
not for
it
the
done
Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So they spent extra money to have it done in time.
They expedited
for the Super Bowl.
the building of it, and then changed their mind at the end because it's obviously usable.
Right. Then they decided it's security risk.
But 4 extra security guards, too big of an expense.
Yeah, and now was it really their intention? When they were planning this, did they realize this in advance? Did they decide they wanted to build this bridge just for the elites because that's the only people that can use it? If you've got the security clearance, you can use the bridge. So it's like a private bridge, basically, for right now until after the game.
See, and if it weren't taxpayer funded, I'd be okay with that, right?
Sure.
Elites pay for private access to things all the time.
Yeah, by all means. Yeah. Unfortunately, the whole thing was taxpayer funded.
Right.
The stadium was a $600 million taxpayer funded boondoggle. We learned last night that one of the founders of the Home Depot, is the person who owns apparently the Falcons.
Right.
And so basically the deal is taxpayers shelled out $600 million, and the owner gets to take all the profits.
Sure.
So
socialized
it's like
costs,
being
privatized
America's
profits.
fattest welfare whore.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's crazy.
That's really impressive.
So the unseen cost of the pedestrian bridge, like other urban boondoggles, is worth considering too. What else could the city have done with the $23 million they spent on this project? What else could Atlanta taxpayers have done with that money if it wasn't expropriated from them in the first place?
I'm sure feed the homeless and school the children is going to come up on somebody's list.
Well, if it's your money, you can do whatever you want with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then that would be the ideal circumstance, would be to allow people to keep the money that they earn and then decide if they want to build a bridge, go ahead and become an investor in a bridge.
Or an investor in the stadium, right? I think you guys were talking last week about, was it the Packers being either a privately owned or a cooperatively owned stadium?
Yeah. That was mentioned last night, I think. And that was supposed to be the only stadium that, at least it was the only one that we had heard of, that is that situation where...
And I've heard that before as well.
And now you've got another one being built apparently in, I think it was Nevada. There is another
for the
privately
Raiders.
funded, there's another privately funded stadium that's actually being built, whereas the supermajority of these things are all taxpayer funded.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's the story, your Super Bowl headline here. There's actually other potential Super Bowl news at the top of the Drudge Report. They say here that during the halftime show, there may be a protest by the performing artists. Maroon 5 frontman has hinted that during their show, there may be some kind of an effort. Let's see here. There might be some sort of kneeling or whatever to kind of show solidarity with Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, if I had recognized that what they were singing was the Star Spangled Banner at the bar tonight, I would have knelt for it. It's just they do it so stylized. They were halfway through the song before I knew what the heck they were singing.
Well,
I'm surprised the rest of the bar patrons didn't stand up and take their caps off.
I was pleased to see
people
they did
standing up with their hands at their heart. There were a couple people at the bar like that.
Yeah, because I was looking around during that just to see what the people in the bar were doing, because we were all out at our weekly social event that we do here.
I wonder if you could do a hybrid of that, like "I'm coming, Wheezy," or what was it that Fred
Can you
Sanford
put your hand over your heart and kneel at the
Isabel.
same time?
Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. That's the number you can join us on. You can bring up anything that's on your mind, whether you want to talk about Super Bowl controversies or other things. We got some kid killed by his parents that you wanted to talk about, Richie Rich?
Guardians.
We'll get into that coming up here in moments. This is Free Talk Live.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually.
Whoa. Hey.
Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video or audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free to bring up whatever you want here. The toll free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And you can join us online over at freetalklive.com. Enjoy the features that we have there on the site. Free Talk Live brought to you by Bitcoin.com. That is where you can go to learn a lot about Bitcoin. Maybe you're new to cryptocurrency. You need to get started learning about it, and they've got a great academy over there, the Bitcoin.com Academy, where you can learn the basics about Bitcoin and crypto. Highly recommend it. It's free, so why not spend 10 minutes and get educated? Go to Bitcoin.com. If you're not brand new, you can still find a lot of value at Bitcoin.com. They've got a great news section. They've got a Bitcoin forum where you can engage with the community and so much more. Once again, go to Bitcoin.com. As we continue, we've been discussing government boondoggles, the ridiculous $23 million bridge that they built outside of the Atlanta Falcons Stadium. They spent $23 million to expedite the process so they could have it done in time for the game, the Super Bowl, which is happening, as we speak. And it's there. The bridge is done. It's just now they had to shut it down because of so-called security concerns because it's too close to the stadium. So they can't have enough control over that area, I guess, or something like that. So they can't allow us normal folk to cross the bridge.
The elite class, no problem though.
Right? Yeah.
No threat there.
You got your security clearance, then you're good to go. So if you're if you're an executive at the stadium, you're fine.
Sure.
No. So that's what we started the show out with here tonight, and we'll find out, I guess, if there's going to be a potential protest during the halftime show. The story from BizPackReview.com says that proud flag-loving patriots who hate seeing the American flag disrespected may have no other option but to tune out of the upcoming Super Bowl halftime show. The show's been mired in controversy because of a concerted effort by radical far-left activists to stop any artist from performing at the event. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but like the people who contracted the artists who agreed to do this event, they were targeted. Kind of like how those activist groups will target talk show hosts that they don't like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they should be targeted. Anybody participating in this welfare nonsense should be targeted because they're wasting our tax dollars buying stadiums, having there were 5 Air Force jets flying over this. I didn't mean to watch it. We were in a bar. It was on TV. You couldn't look away from the miraculous waste of money going on that they have to fly these jets over the frigging thing. What do those things cost? $1 million just to get them off the ground once?
The gas isn't cheap.
So that's $5-6 million right there. So people could see planes fly.
So they could see an ostentatious display of patriotism.
Yeah.
Right?
So is everyone in the stadium complicit to that?
Yeah, well, if you're participating, I mean, are you complicit? I don't know. Is it that
like if I bought a
considered
ticket
victim
center
blaming, because most of them don't really benefit from it, but
they just want to go see a show. I mean, do you have to consider the business arrangements of the place, the venue at which you're going to see a show, just because you want to go see a show?
Well, it's a good question. I don't know.
Or any place you shop or
I
do
think
business?
a boycott or or protesting of the Super Bowl would have been a great response to the money wasted on the stadium.
Yeah, that much is definitely true. I mean, it is a lot of money that they blew on that stadium. On the other hand, though, I mean, corporate America is rife with corruption. It's rife with sweetheart deals with governments. Whether it's as simple as Walmart or Target getting a property tax exemption for a decade, right? Like, oh yeah, we'll come into your city, we'll bring 250 jobs into your city, but we're going to need to have a tax exemption for the next 5 to 10 years. This is pretty common, right? Where the city governments will cut these big corporations a break in order to locate within certain city limits. And so, I mean, do I have to consider that before I walk through the doors of a Walmart to go buy some toothpaste?
Well, I would certainly consider that before reporting a shoplifter at Walmart. Walmart isn't my friend. If you steal from Walmart, I don't care. If you steal from any corporation,
I care if
don't
you do.
care.
And here's why. Because, well, first of all, stealing's bad. But secondly, it also raises your prices. So whenever theft happens, they socialize the losses by raising prices as necessary to cover them.
Yeah,
so
that's
all of the people in the store who are buying things essentially pay whatever the costs are of the loss control of all the the cameras and everything they need to do to try to reduce the number of thefts. But if they lose product, and they do, it's called shrink in the retail business.
They suffer about 3% shrink each year, is my understanding. Which it's not bad.
Well,
as things go.
I mean, most people would like to see lower prices, and if people weren't stealing, then prices would be lower as a result of that.
Probably true.
So one area that I struggle with when it comes to like corporations getting tax breaks is I have trouble blaming them for that activity, right?
Sure.
Don't we all want to avoid paying taxes as much as possible?
Yeah,
so when a corporation does it to get a sweetheart deal, if they're getting a tax break, and let's avoid the subsidies that come along with that, why do we as a culture, I guess, blame them for seeking to maximize their profits and then again pass on the savings to the consumer?
For me, tax breaks aren't really a problem. It's more an issue of corporate welfare. When you're giving them money, everybody should get 100% tax break.
Sure.
What bothers me is that the people in the club get all the tax breaks, and the people not in Carlin's club get nothing. They get robbed more to pay for it.
Isn't that another case of victim blaming, though?
Is it?
Like I'm getting taxed, therefore Walmart, who is not getting taxed, right, is the aggressor in that instance.
Well, right. Walmart is not the. Yeah, it is awkward, really.
It's a little awkward.
It's
you can't call him an aggressor for managing to cut a deal with an aggressor, right? So the aggressor is the state, the town or the city or state government or whoever it is we're dealing with. They're the ones saying you got to pay this, and they've managed to negotiate, right? Like, because you're always negotiating to some extent. They've managed to negotiate that the criminals not rob them for 5 to 10 years and instead just leave them alone. I mean, you got to give them credit for that. Like, if you're mad about it, you're just jealous because you weren't able
That's
to
all I'm saying.
negotiate with the criminals.
Yeah, which I am. If some town wants to say, hey, if you move to my town, you'll be exempt from property taxes. Yeah, I'd probably move there.
Right. But so I think you made a good distinction, though, the difference between negotiating a better robbery deal,
sure,
meaning that you aren't robbed as much or as often, versus having that same aggressor negotiating a deal where they rob from others to give to you, to directly give, like in the case with the stadium.
Right.
So that's much. What you were saying, Rich, is that's way more objectionable.
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
So the show, again, this is the halftime show coming up tonight at the Super Bowl. Says here some artists resisted the pressure and signed up for the gig anyway, including the pop rock band Maroon 5 and rappers Big Boy and Travis Scott, among others. But judging by the rhetoric of Maroon 5's lead singer, trouble may still be expected. How so? During an interview this week with Entertainment Tonight, he said the band plans to honor those who believe in the concept of so-called social justice. He said, quote, "They'll be heard. That's all I want to say because I don't want to spoil anything."
That's a loaded term.
Referring to those who'd been complaining about the band's participation in the show. Quote, "And once again, I'd like to think that people know where I stand as a human being after 2 decades of doing this. I'm not a speaker. I'm not a public speaker. I do speak, but it's through the music, my life's work, and what I put out into the universe has been positive and hopefully inspiring." So we'll see. Sounds like he's got something up his sleeve that could be controversial. If you see it happen, because we're not watching the game here, obviously, and you want to call in to let us know, you are welcome to do so. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Coming up, some guardians of a child and a teenager in the household did some pretty severe violence, apparently, to a young child, and we'll tell you what it was all about coming up in moments.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Dogosuds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Dogosud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Dogosuds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
February is Heart Month. Every year for the month of February, to show our appreciation to Extendivite's faithful customers, we have a sale. If you would like to try Extendivite, now is the time to get a few months ahead and really give Extendivite the time to show you how it works. Most of Extendivite's long-term customers wait for this sale to stock up. People and doctors tell us about the unbelievable improvements that they have experienced in their overall health. Not just the heart. Extendivite wants you to experience the power of these herbs. Get a 4-month supply for only $115 for either the capsules or tincture. Please take advantage of this once-per-year sale and get healthy for life. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live Sunday edition of the show. You can dial in toll-free and join us here. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you tonight, I'm Ian. Oops, sorry, Rich, my bad again. Try that again.
You're scared of me tonight, aren't you? Rich Paul, you just don't know what I'm going to say.
And Richie Rich.
All right, you guys, we go into the phones, and then we'll get into the story you wanted to share with us, Richie Rich. You've got a disturbing story about a young boy beaten to death by guardians.
It is quite disturbing on a number of levels.
Yeah, we'll share that coming up next. But first, Sarah is on the line in New Mexico. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
I just also I have used the radio power.
The radio power. Tell me about that.
Yes. Well, it's I said that I accomplished quite a few things, and I brought in the 8 mobile speeding units, to New Mexico.
Oh, yeah. You give yourself credit for the addition of basically speed traps to New Mexico. You think it was your phone calls to radio stations in the area that got this done?
A public voice for the people.
Well, the thing is, it's
a public voice for the club.
Yeah, a public voice for the gang. What's that, Sarah?
The thing is, I felt like I was an effective tool because they only had 3 mobile speeding units, and now they have 8, and they had them for 15 years.
Did they put out a press release thanking Sarah in Albuquerque for her hard work?
Why do you want more of them out and about? Are you in danger?
Well, we only hit like 800 pedestrians, and I met a guy who got his leg broken. He was one of the 8. I said, you're one of the 800 people that got hit by a car and got their legs broken but lived. So I met one of you.
That happened to me.
One of the 800.
You got your legs broken or hit by a car and lived?
Both. Got hit by a car, broke my leg, and lived.
Damn.
Now, who is this? Who am I? Who is this?
I am Richie Rich, the one and only.
Richie, are you the Canadian? Are
No.
you the pastor? Or are you the? I don't know. There's so many of you guys. I get confused. I don't know who's who. Richie Rich.
I'm the latest.
So.
You're Canadian?
You're the new edition,
I didn't think so.
Okay.
The top of your head doesn't completely separate from the bottom of your head when you speak. And South Park has taught me that that's how you recognize a Canadian.
No, Sarah, we've got...
I've been to Canada.
Richie Rich is
I got
from
deported
Hawaii.
from Canada.
They won't let me in either.
Richie, I want to ask you something. So you're against mobile speeding bans, and you're against red light cameras, and you got hit by a car 2 times and get your legs broken.
I got hit by a car 1 time.
See, if you'd only been hit twice, then you'd be in favor of these things.
Well, I mean, the speeding cameras exist, and there's lots of cops out there. The world is full of pigs, and he still got his leg broken, so it didn't solve the problem.
See, one of the things you have to understand, and this might only be coming from me, is a lot of that has to do with a mindset shift. So I got my legs broken and I'm laid up, not even in a cast. They put a rod in and I'm laid up, can't go anywhere, can't do anything. My buddy comes over to hang out with me for a little bit. And the first question he asked me is, how did you manifest this in your life? And that's a difficult question to process because I had to think about all the choices and all the decisions that I made as an individual on how it came to be that I was in that intersection at that time in front of that car. And so I never, the driver tried to run, and luckily there were cops on the scene at the time. But I never blamed him. I never felt any ill will towards him. Maybe a little bit for running, come on, little help there. But I wasn't mad at him because again, it was choices that I made, responsibility that I had to take for my actions, that put me in that spot. And, when my buddy asked me, he said, how did you manifest this? I said, I think I just really needed a vacation. I was getting a little burnt out at work, and now I'm off for a couple of months. So,
So do you know anything? Like, what about the driver? Like, was he drunk or what happened? What was the circumstance?
It was late at night. I was leaving my restaurant job, and I was on a moped going through an intersection. And this particular intersection has like a left yield. Like you have to yield to oncoming traffic to make the left, and he just didn't yield.
And you were oncoming?
And I was oncoming, and he was coming the opposite way, and he was making a left, and I was going through the intersection.
And he just crashed right into you.
And he crashed right into me. Now, had I been paying a little bit more attention to the road conditions, I may have seen him, right? And I had the opportunity to slow down or stop. But I was honestly a little bit distracted. I wasn't on my phone because I was on a moped, but I was, looking down the other way to, because another car made a right-hand turn from the left lane right in front of me. I was going, what the hell is this clown doing? And then when I turned back, wham, yeah.
The problem with traffic signs and traffic laws appears to be that it creates a false sense of confidence in that you expect that everybody else is going to obey these laws, and that if you obey these laws, you're going to be okay. But in New Hampshire, I'm frequently driving down a road in the winter and say, well, the speed limit sign says I can do 65, but I can't do 65 because there's ice all over the road.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a mistake.
That's a problem, and if you take out the signs, they found in a couple of European towns where they've done this, people slow down. They are not so certain, and not being so certain as to what they're going to encounter, they have to personally pay attention
be more cautious.
To what's going on. Just like if you don't have government regulation of food, then you have to think about what you eat. You can't put that off on somebody else.
Get poisoned by lettuce.
Well, Sarah, what do you think about that?
The devil's lettuce hasn't killed anybody, but the Romaine's lettuce, that's whacked a lot of people this year.
Sarah, listening to all that, this is obviously kind of antithetical to what you believe. You fully believe in the government. You love having government safety vehicles and speeding cameras and all kinds of red light cameras. And so your thoughts, Sarah? Go ahead.
Well, I'm just amazed with Richie that if there was a red light camera, the driver would have been careful, because if he struck you, he would have been caught.
They caught him.
He could just hit and run.
They caught him. There were actually cops on the scene doing undercover sting work.
You know what? What if there was no cops available? What if you just hit and run you like they do here in New Mexico? Because there's no red light cameras whatsoever. All we got is
it's not going to fix the broken leg either way.
Yeah. Red light cameras are timed to, they serve a very specific purpose. They wouldn't have had any impact on this guy's situation because the light wasn't red. The guy was at a green light, but he was supposed to yield. So
Correct.
The red light camera would have cut no ice on.
Red light cameras are, from my understanding, designed to take a photo at the time of somebody burning through a red light, basically.
Right, exactly.
That's why you see the flash.
That's not what
if it's nighttime and you go through one of these intersections with a red light camera, you'll see the flash go off. Mm-hmm. And it's distracting as hell, actually. So, Sarah, thanks for the call. Huh? What?
It also also takes the pictures of all the accidents. It has a sensor. So they have like 10 pictures of who did what.
Yeah, but how would that have protected me? How would that have protected me prior to the incident?
It's preventative. It's preventative.
She's saying the guy would have been careful.
Oh.
She's saying because the camera were there, the person who ran into you would have been more cautious because they would not have wanted to be caught on the camera.
Because he would have been looking at the camera rather than me.
That only works if the guy is more concerned about paying out $100 in a traffic ticket than he is on breaking somebody's leg. It seems like...
Well, and also it presumes that the person is as aware of the existence of red light cameras as Sarah is. This guy obviously wasn't thinking real hard at the time because he ran into you like a fool. And so he probably wasn't thinking about anything having to do with driving in that moment or that intersection. He was just thinking about whatever it was he was distracted by.
Yeah, and I've done that too on the road, right? You lose time on the road. If it's a regular route that you take very frequently, your mind wanders and you just drive on instinct.
I'd like to see some statistics on how many accidents are caused when somebody sees a cop and slams on the brakes. I would love to see statistics on that.
How about just the fact
been released?
Not just slamming on the brakes,
short yellows and known red light cameras.
But having a police officer nearby changes behavior generally, right? So, like, if I've got a cop behind me, I'm checking my rear view way more often than I normally would be. I just can't help it. I can't help but keep looking up at the rear view mirror.
Oh, yeah. People who see the police are afraid. And I learned that by driving a fake police car or a retired police car. People are scared to death of police cars.
It's true. More coming up here in moments. 855 450 free. Thank you, Sarah. We get more on the way.
#1 international best-selling author Matthew David Hurtado's pain was simple. Lyme disease bankrupted him in 2009, watching bankers take everything from his family after building a 7-figure business from his couch. God called him to ministry to teach prosperity based on pain he could not tolerate in others' lives. IRS, creditors, car loans, debt. It's the Babylonian system, and you have to escape it before it's too late. Haven't you ever wanted to wake up from this nightmare? Matthew David's free quick study guide shows you what to do today to build lasting wealth in any economy. His discovery he made? It's all consciousness. Get Matthew's 7-figure quick study guide for clarity, certainty, and a proven strategy to build wealth once and for all. Visit escaperightnow.com. Do it now. It's free. escaperightnow.com for a prosperous future ahead with peace of mind. escaperightnow.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Find us online at libertybeat.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your weekend edition of the Liberty Beat for the week ending February 1st, 2019. Gold opened Friday at $1,321. Silver opened at $15.97. And Bitcoin is trading around $3,442. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, Twitter has announced that it took down about 2,000 accounts in Venezuela, most of which it claimed were engaged in a state-backed influence campaign. That comes amid accusations of a U.S.-led coup attempt. The San Francisco-based social media giant released a blog post Thursday saying it removed 1,196 accounts located in Venezuela, which it deemed to appear to be engaged in a state-backed influence campaign targeting domestic audiences. Twitter also removed another 764 accounts and noted, quote, "We are unable to definitively tie the accounts located in Venezuela to information operations of a foreign government against another country," end quote. The Twitter purge of accounts was met with criticism and accusations of censorship. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has announced that the U.S. will withdraw from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty immediately, prompting threats of a Russian response from Moscow. Pompeo said the U.S. could return to compliance with the treaty if Moscow meets Washington's demands within the next 180 days. To convince the United States to back down, Washington has insisted that Russia cease development of a new cruise missile. Moscow has repeatedly denied claims that it's in violation of the treaty. The withdrawal will formally take place on Saturday. President Donald Trump said the United States' NATO allies support the decision to withdraw from the treaty. The U.S. has also expressed concerns that its compliance with the treaty has benefited China, which isn't a party to the agreement. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And Liberty Beat listeners right now can save 10% at checkout by using promo code SNLS. This is the weekend edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news. In a surprising vote Thursday, the United States Senate voted 68-23 to pass a resolution from Majority Leader Mitch McConnell expressing opposition to President Trump's plan to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria, and expressing opposition to any theoretical pullout from Afghanistan that might result from a negotiated deal to end that war. The anti-media, citing antiwar.com, reports the non-binding resolution was passed with overwhelming support from the Republican majority, setting them squarely against parts of President Trump's foreign policy. A number of Democrats who voted against it expressed concern that it was tantamount to a vote advocating a state of permanent war. The 2001 authorization for the Afghan war was built around 9/11 and the defeat of al-Qaeda. Neither are hugely relevant issues in 2019 Afghanistan, and a peace treaty being negotiated centers heavily around the Taliban, promising to keep al-Qaeda and ISIS out of the country in the future. Congress never actually authorized the war in Syria at all, dodging that obligation repeatedly because of political concerns. President Obama invaded Syria unilaterally to fight ISIS, and President Trump has declared ISIS effectively defeated now that they virtually have no territory remaining. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. It's simple. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details on how to raise your business's profile in partnership with the Liberty Beat. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the weekend edition of the Liberty Beat for the week ending Friday, February 1st, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Following several months of negotiations, representatives at the Minnesota State Museum confirmed today that they've extended their final offer to the anonymous owner of the couch from the hit 1970s sitcom The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
We hope an agreement can be reached soon because after months of back and forth, we just need a straight answer here.
Healy noted that the brown velvet artifact would be a welcome addition to its media wing, which boasts a robust collection, including several iconic Minnesota pieces.
We have the fence from Grumpy Old Men. We acquired the puck from the Mighty Ducks several months ago.
Healy and his team made their first bid in December of 2012 and have cycled through 5 rounds of negotiations, reportedly tripling their initial offer in an urgent attempt to secure the sale.
It's not every day that an artifact of this significance comes on the market and went... Oh my God, it's him. It's him, okay? Hello, sir. What would you say if I went up another 2?
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. We're launching into the second hour of this live Sunday edition of the program. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Just jump into any one of those rooms and you'll sound almost like you're sitting in the studio here with us. And in the studio, it's Ian,
Rich Paul,
and Richie Rich.
So Richie Rich, the host of the Anarchist Experience, which folks can go and check out your show, which is a weekly podcasted program.
Yep, about an hour a week.
Over at anarchistexperience.com. And you brought a story in tonight you wanted to share with our radio audience, so do that. Where's it coming from?
All right, this is from Fox 11. I don't know exactly where the city is. Manitowoc. Anybody?
It sounds like Canada, doesn't it? But what would Fox be doing up
there? Michigan?
Could be. I don't know. I've never been to
Manitowoc.
All right. Anyway, a 7-year-old boy was beaten.
Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Oconomowoc is also in Wisconsin. They've got a lot of walks there.
Located on Lake Michigan at the mouth of the Manitowoc River.
Well, there you have it.
Another walk.
Mm-hmm.
Never been there. A 7-year-old boy was beaten, forced to carry around a 44-pound log, and was buried in the snow before he died last year.
Wow.
Right? Now, a 15-year-old boy and 2 adults have been charged with the murder of Ethan Hauschultz. Damian Hauschultz, 15, is charged with first-degree reckless homicide and 6 other charges. And although age 15 in Wisconsin, oh, there you go, juveniles charged with certain homicide counts are handled in adult court. Damian's father, Timothy Hauschultz, 48, is charged with felony murder and 5 other charges. And Tina McKeever Hauschultz, 35, is charged with failing to prevent bodily harm and intentionally contributing to the delinquency of a child. All 3 are expected to make initial court appearances Monday in Manitowoc County Court. Here we go.
Failing to prevent bodily harm. So the inaction, she was charged with not doing enough, basically.
Apparently.
Huh.
I guess witnessing it and not stopping, the husband and teenage boy was enough. We'll see. According to the criminal complaint, Timothy Hauschultz and Tina Hauschultz were the court-appointed guardians for Ethan Hauschultz and 2 of his siblings. The complaint does not indicate if or how they are related. Timothy Hauschultz ordered Ethan Hauschultz to be punished by carrying a heavy wooden log weighing 44 pounds, about 2/3 of the boy's body weight, for 2 hours around a predetermined path in a snowy area outside their home. Damian was instructed to supervise.
So Damian's the teenager.
Right.
Okay.
As Ethan struggled to carry the log, Damian allegedly hit, kicked, struck, and poked Ethan about 100 times.
Wow.
Sometimes using a belt or a stick. Damian rolled the heavy log across Ethan's chest, stood on him while Ethan was face down in a puddle, and then burying him in a snowbank for more than 20 minutes without coats or boots on. Damian also...
brutal.
Yes.
This is hard to listen to.
I told you there was going to be a terrible segue of sport ball and then this.
Yeah.
Damian also repeatedly struck Ethan's twin, who was also ordered to undergo the punishment according to the complaint. Ethan died of hypothermia, but also had extensive other injuries, including blunt force object to the head, chest and abdomen, and a rib fracture, the medical examiner determined, the complaint states. In an interview with police, Damian stated he didn't do anything that would have hurt Ethan. He estimated he hit Ethan 100 times. He also admitted to covering Ethan in snow, but knew Ethan had to breathe. He described Ethan as being covered in his own little coffin of snow, according to the complaint. The punishment was also directed to be carried out by his father, Timothy, Damian said.
Now, do we know what this punishment was regarding?
Yes.
Okay.
Next paragraph.
Okay.
This is one of the reasons why I brought it up, because this paragraph right here. Damian said he had to carry the wood for not knowing 13 Bible verses to Timothy's satisfaction.
And that's the dad? Timothy's the dad.
The punishment was 1 week of carrying wood for 2 hours per day. Timothy picked out the logs, but Damian had to supervise the punishment for the younger children. Timothy policed the log, was a form of discipline, but he was not home when the incident happened with Ethan. Damien had called him twice because Ethan wasn't moving. Tina was not quoted in the complaint. One of Ethan's siblings said she was aware that Timothy uses this form of discipline. So for not knowing a Bible verse is what he underwent.
And I'm going to guess that guy has a really strong objection to like killing your kids before birth, but it's okay to kill them afterwards.
Beat them to death.
Wow, your memory just wasn't good enough, so now you get to carry a log 2/3 of your own weight around. I mean, can you imagine how difficult that must be?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a 120-pound log for me now, but it would have been a 180-pound log for me a few months ago. So that's
heavy.
a lot to carry.
Yeah, no matter how big you are, carrying 2/3 of your own weight is not going to be
unless
easy
you're
task.
an ant.
Sure,
they can
point.
carry
They can
massive
carry
fractions.
50 pounds
They
or
can carry
50
more
times.
than their own weight, right? Like multiple times.
Yeah.
their own weight.
If I remember my 8th grade science class, I think it was like 50 times was basically what ants do.
Wow.
All right, so Bible verses. I mean, obviously
Bible
you feel
verses.
strongly about this.
Well,
do you have a religious upbringing?
Imagine trying to carry 50 human bodies. I mean, even that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yes. So, well, the biggest objections that I found, related to this was number one, the Bible verses, right? Because, that it implies, at least, that they're a religious family, number one. And for whatever reason, religious families seem to be more obstinate, for lack of a better term.
Obstinate. I'm actually not familiar with what.
Obstinate?
Yes.
Obstinate. Okay.
Oh,
I'm familiar with that
so
one.
they're more stubborn.
Yeah.
When it comes to that sort of thing.
Okay.
Right? Like, an atheist family or an atheist family wouldn't force the memorization of Bible verses necessarily.
Yeah. Well,
right?
I mean, if you're going to believe a bunch of nonsense written by goat herders like 2,000 years ago, didn't know where the sun went at night, you got to be a stubborn bastard because you've got to resist logic and reason and all those things.
No, wait, is that to say that there aren't atheists who would beat their kids?
No, so that's the second objection.
Okay.
Right? For me, it's the corporal punishment activities.
Mm-hmm.
So it was number one, over religion, which, again, I think is foolishness. Number two, corporal punishment, again, nonsense. And then third, that he was a guardian, he had guardians over him.
Right.
Which means it wasn't his natural born parents; it was appointees of the state, who were charged with caring.
No, we don't know what the circumstances, and the article didn't say what the circumstances were that led to their guardianship. In some cases, a guardian can be somebody who already had a connection to the young person, and they were the person who kind of stepped up as I'll take this responsibility. Let's say the parents died in a car wreck or something like that, and he was a best friend or whatever. So we don't know exactly what the circumstances were that led to him. And I guess it could be just random, like kind of like a foster parent,
could be
as well. So who knows? And we've certainly seen plenty of sicko foster parent stories with everything from them locking their kids in cages, feeding them, the barest of bare minimums just to kind of keep them alive, but then taking all the extra money that they get to buy the kids food and, spending it on crack cocaine or whatever it is. There's just all kinds of just absolutely horrifying stories out there of the government foster care system.
Right. And again, that's pretty much where my mind went initially when I read this was, yet another one of those tragedies, because of lack of natural parents caring for their young.
Now, of course, many religious people would also be aghast at hearing this particular story. I mean, very few of them would say they support that level of corporal punishment for, not being able to successfully memorize some Bible verses. I mean, assuredly, these people are unusual when it comes to...
Well, I mean, if properly memorizing Bible verses is how you show... what is it? Respect for your parents? Then they're supposed to kill kids who don't respect their parents. So maybe this parent interpreted what is it? Honor thy father and thy mother. And if you look back at the Old Testament, it says to kill kids who don't. So,
did it really?
So if they believe in the Old Testament, I think they do.
Just following God's word.
Exactly.
855-450 free. If you want to join us, you can. It's Free Talk Live.
You want to know the 37 items you must have to survive a crisis? Then I've got some good news for you. Former CIA officer and New York Times best-selling author Jason Hansen is now giving listeners a free copy of his book, The Escape Bag Blueprint, 37 Items You Must Have to Survive a Crisis. You can claim your copy at freeescapebook.com. Don't delay. Jason reveals the guns, knives, flashlights, and water filters that could save your life in an economic collapse or grid-down event. Get your free book today, freeescapebook.com. freeescapebook.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. Smart Cash is building a foundation that can support daily transactions for people everywhere. One feature that sets Smart Cash apart is the Smart Hive governance model and how the community can vote to fund the best projects with block rewards stored in the Smart Hive project treasury. Unlike other cryptocurrencies with voting systems, Smart Cash allows everyone to participate. One smart equals one vote. Learn more at smartcash.cc.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves here. The toll-free number, 855-450-FREE like freedom. 855-450-3733. Earlier tonight, we were talking about some of the Super Bowl boondoggles, like the $23 million bridge that nobody actually gets to use, except if you've got a security clearance during the game. They spent that much money just to have the bridge done in time for the game, and then ultimately decided they weren't going to let you walk over it. And then also, according to our chatters in our Discord server, which, by the way, you can join by going to discord.lrn.fm. You can jump in and interact with other Free Talk Live listeners there. It's a free service. It's there 24 hours a day. And some of y'all in the server are actually watching the halftime show. And there was a question earlier tonight: apparently there was some talk that Maroon 5, which is one of the pop music groups out there, they're going to be playing and doing some sort of protest or some kind of solidarity motion or statement. We didn't know because the lead singer in the group was just kind of teasing it. He wasn't saying exactly what it was that they had planned. And according to one of the folks, Gene the Christian Anarchist in the chat room, he did say that one of the rappers, now he's not clear whether it was Maroon 5, I don't know who he was watching at the time, but apparently one of the rappers was bleeped out. Now, I don't know if that means that he made a political statement and they bleeped that, or if he just, the normal lyrics of the song he was singing, can't air on television. So
rappers get bleeped all the time.
Yeah. So, I don't know if that's actually a political statement, although you would think that if you were performing at the Super Bowl, you'd play the clean version of your song, right?
Probably true.
So maybe that might lead you to think it was the political statement.
I hate clean versions.
I know.
I do. I hate that on YouTube, usually if you want to see the video, you have to listen to the maimed version of the song.
Really? On YouTube?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I haven't
not
noticed that.
There's no official rule of it, but like if you look up Steel Panther community property, you can see the video, or you can listen to the real version of the song, but you can't do both at the same time.
Interesting.
That's one of your favorites for karaoke, by the way.
Yeah, and that's also true for "Addicted" by Bliss and Eso. It's a great video, but I never watch it because
it's the clean version.
It ruins the song if you don't.
Yeah, it really stands out too when you know what you're missing. It really stands out when you get to those parts of the song.
Oh, and Rehab Bartender is the worst. Is the worst one because there they just change the words to something else and it's the wrong words.
Well, if you know the song at karaoke, you should just sing what you know.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, at karaoke, I do what I want.
Okay.
I'll
well, it wasn't a problem.
I'll go in and ask for Royals by Lord and sing Foil by Weird Al Yankovic.
Very nice.
An experience.
Toll-free number tonight if you want to join us, whether it's talking about the Super Bowl halftime show, karaoke, whatever it is that's on your mind, you can bring up anything here. Or crazy religious people beating their child to death, or I guess allowing their teenager to do it, because it sounded like the statement was that dad wasn't home at the time that this was allegedly going on.
I think the teenager, it was the teenager did the beating, but it was carried out at the behest of the father. Like it was a known punishment in that household that this is what you do if you fail to learn your Bible verses.
Well, the punishment was that the child, who was I think 7 years old,
yes,
the child was supposed to walk around for 2 hours in the cold
carrying a log
that was 2/3 the weight of the child's own body for 2 hours. And that was the punishment. It sounded like the teenager, who was 15, was adding in his own punishments on top of that.
Striking the child 100 times.
Striking him while he was walking around carrying this log, then buried him in snow without many clothes on, apparently.
He also described it as his snow coffin, which is a little creepy in and of itself.
Well, I don't know if that's a term, but burying yourself in snow is actually a survival technique, or can be a survival technique. I would recommend wearing as many coats as you can get if you're doing it. But there have been instances, I think, of people buried by avalanches who did not freeze to death because the snow acted as
an igloo, basically.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So he may have been quoting some half-remembered survival literature when he said snow coffin. I don't know.
And then he ended up dying from the injuries that he had received. So sad stuff. We don't know where that story's going to go. It's one of those stories you're probably never going to get an update on.
I don't know if I want one.
Yeah, no. I mean, it doesn't end well for anybody in that particular case. And is that what Jesus really wanted? Was what would Jesus do, Christians?
we should start a poll as to what the Bible verse that the kid failed to memorize probably said.
Well,
I'm going with love thy
Romans
neighbor.
13.
Yeah,
that's the one he failed to learn, was love thy neighbor.
But now, wasn't it 13 verses that he failed to learn? Like he failed on more than one of them.
Right. It was according to the article, which I don't have in front of me anymore, but it was he failed to memorize 13 different Bible verses. Mm-hmm. And that was his punishment for that failure.
Was to walk around carrying a humongous log for an entire week, 2 hours per day.
In the snow.
Yeah, in the snow. And he was 7 years old at the time. Sad stuff. If you want to join us, you can bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Have you guys heard of these deepfakes?
Yes.
Have you seen a deep fake?
Hard to say, right? I mean,
that's a good point. Yeah.
I think there was one earlier today. I didn't find it show prep worthy, but it was Jennifer Lawrence and Steve Buscemi's face on it.
I have it right here.
Okay, somebody needs to look up on Urban Dictionary for me what a deep fake is, because I'm not familiar with this.
I'm going to try to explain it to you here. So we talked about this, I don't know, most of a year ago. It's come up before on Free Talk Live. Basically what they've done, Rich, is the geeks on the internet have made video swapping possible, meaning taking a video of you and like scanning you in somehow into whatever system it is that they're using to do this, and then superimposing your face over top of somebody else in another video. Now, this is stuff that has been possible for a number of years, but you had to have access to some pretty fancy equipment, like, Hollywood level kind of movie effects. Now, just any geek with a, decent computer can run one of these deepfakes programs or whatever and do their own image swapping and video swapping right at home.
They could also do voice swapping now too.
Yeah,
which is even
so. And then what it's done is and it was originally created for porn. So it was created to put your favorite star who you can't find in any kind of nude photo into an actual porn clip with somebody who may have a body type that matches that person. So that's where this came from. But now it's being used for more than that. And so there's actually a clip on this.
And people wonder why men earn more money than women. It's all the sex drive.
There's more coming up here. We'll tell you more about what these deep fakes are. And we'll link to one of them on our social media so you can check out and see for yourself how persuasive they look. There's more coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
You may need this herbal tea for relief right away, so write this down. DRMILLERS clinic.com. If you take meds, then suffer stomach distress, constipation, indigestion, acid reflux, and bloating, and nothing else helps, get Dr. Miller's Holy Tea or Super Holy Tea, a cleansing, detoxifying herbal tea now available at great rates direct from Dr. Miller's office. Call or click 888-660-7039 or DRMILLERS clinic.com.
The United States of Empire is a book that claims the United States is the empire of the world. George Washington had warned us against foreign wars. The United States of Empire shows that World Wars I and II left England broken. Its former colony, the U.S., had to save the empire. Was there ever a vote? Who do we fight for? The deep state began with World War I. The United States of Empire by James Dunn. Available at Amazon Books.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
But I blew it by talking about it, because then if we did it, it would have been expected, you know? So we just wore our own thing.
Oh, we were so distracted by the deepfake. We came back a little bit late here. Sorry about that. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Now, this is one of those things where radio is just not going to do it justice. We were trying to explain to Rich Paul who Steve Buscemi is. Now, even though you're looking at his face there, you didn't recognize him. So I'm going to see if I can pull up his, what he would.
I'm guessing
normally.
he doesn't usually wear a body like that.
Well, normally he's pretty skinny, so the body type is probably pretty right on. He's
Does he have boobs?
No, he doesn't.
She had a couple of them, I thought.
Yeah. So I don't know. So if you don't recognize him, I mean, he has been in a number of Hollywood films over the years.
Oh yeah, he was in The Usual Suspects, wasn't he?
No, I don't think he was. I don't think he was in that. You're thinking of Kevin Spacey or something like that. He was in. I remember him from Escape from Los Angeles, which most people probably haven't seen. It was the sequel to Escape from New York.
I've seen it. I wouldn't recognize him from that one.
I loved Escape from New York.
He was Maps to the Stars Eddie in Escape from Los Angeles. But yeah, he's been in a bunch of movies. So anyway, Steve Buscemi. Superimposed over top of Jennifer Lawrence. I mean,
Expected Amy to win.
It still sounds like Jennifer Lawrence.
I just like it was just this was very.
But when you look at this video, it's Steve Buscemi's face.
It's basically his face mapped on hers. So his mouth is moving in cadence with hers. And his eyes are blinking in cadence with hers.
Yeah, and his eyes aren't just blinking. They're like, they move, and it looks around, and it looks very realistic. Now, it would be interesting to do a side-by-side comparison to see the original clip of Jennifer Lawrence.
I'd like to know if those are really her arms, because as I look at it again, I'm not seeing boobs. I'm seeing a dress, but no boobs, and the arms do look kind of masculine. So if this was developed for porn, they can do the whole body.
Yeah, they could. You're right about that. So we're talking about deepfakes. I want to get into what that is. We'll tell you more about it, and they've gotten even better in just the last 12 months. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE if you want to join us. By the way, Free Talk Live brought to you by LibertyStickers.com. If you want to reach people with the ideas of freedom, you can do it from the back of your car with LibertyStickers.com. You can reach thousands of people with a bumper sticker, and you know that people love to read them, so check out the vast selection of witty, poignant, pithy, and downright bombastic, liberty-oriented messages available to you at LibertyStickers.com. So, I mean, we know that there's really great technology out there for doing fake video work.
Sure.
But it used to be that you had to really know what you were doing. You had to be a pro. You had to have some really amazing equipment, fancy stuff, expensive, editing decks or whatever.
Even that, Hollywood has a term called the uncanny valley.
What's that?
It's basically the human brain can interpret an animated face made to look like a human face versus an actual human actor, which is why certain CG movies don't look right when you see the CG.
Because there's something wrong about it.
There's something just a little bit off about it, and they refer to that as the uncanny valley. And it seems like with the deepfakes, that may be bridged.
Yeah, they're filling in the valley somewhat. I wouldn't say it's perfect. There's maybe some telltale signs in this video, but the quality was HD. We were watching this during the break, and I did a full screen on this. This is an HD quality. It's not like somebody did a real low-res fake here, and they're cutting corners. This is a nice-looking piece of footage that is clearly Steve Buscemi's face superimposed, but not superimposed. Superimposed isn't really the right word. That sounds, when I say superimposed, it sounds like it's just slapped on there.
Mapped to.
Mapping, I think, would be definitely the right word here. The story is from the Daily Dot, and it says, while the nation grapples with concerns over the spread of inaccurate and deceptive information online, fake news, deepfakes, these are videos in which an individual's face is superimposed onto another, continue to advance at a quickening pace. Now, the new ones are downright terrifying. The technology, which relies on machine learning and artificial intelligence, was once largely relegated to researchers at prestigious universities. But over the past few years, a growing online community has democratized the practice, bringing powerful and easy-to-use tools to the masses. One of the public's first introductions to deepfakes came in late 2017. A Reddit group devoted to placing the faces of prominent female actresses onto those of porn stars gained attention. And it was probably around the shortly thereafter that we covered it here on Free Talk Live. Because I remember we had our Discord server at the time because Gene the Christian Anarchist was going crazy over this. He loves these deepfakes.
The originals, Gene?
Yeah. As reported by Motherboard's Samantha Cole, members of the now banned subreddit explained how they would first gather stock photos and videos of celebrities such as Hollywood star Scarlett Johansson. The media content would then be fed into specialized open-source tools and combined with graphic adult content. The quality of deepfakes are based on several factors, but rely heavily on practice, time, and the source material that they're derived from, because the rule's always going to be garbage in, garbage out. If you've got a crappy quality, photograph or video clip, then you're not going to be able to do a whole lot with that. If, on the other hand, you have HD quality video of your favorite star from more than one angle, preferably, I imagine, then you're going to have something to work with.
Does this destroy the market for celebrity sex videos?
Yeah, I would say it does.
I don't think so, because it creates a level of plausible deniability.
True.
But still, people are always going to want the original.
That's true.
People are always going to want to see things that actually happen.
But how will you know?
Well,
that's the thing, is it creates a plausible deniability. But the easiest way to know, my guess, is that mapping that they do has to leave artifacts that can be detected by another computer, even if they get to the point where they're too good for the human eye.
For the eye? You could be right.
Just as a programmer, it seems to me impossible that you would not have some
A
level
trace.
of error, some pixels that are the wrong color because they're the merge of two things that can be detected over time. I don't know how
You
to
might be
do it,
right.
but I'm sure it can be done.
Because that's exactly what you do before popping on a porn, is to run
Run the check on it. Make sure it's real.
If a sex tape comes out, somebody's probably going to look at it, I would suspect.
For science, of course.
The quality, again, are based on several factors. Initially, deepfakes were more shocking than convincing, but readily available programs and tutorials continue to lower the bar for new creators. One such video, posted by Reddit user Villain Guy earlier this month, has highlighted how far the technology has come. That video, which combines actor Steve Buscemi with actress Jennifer Lawrence at the 2016 Golden Globe Awards, is turning heads. Not because anyone believes it's real, but because of the video's implications. And that's really what's worth talking about here. Using a free tool known as Face Swap, Villain Guy proceeded to train the artificial intelligence with high-quality media content of actor Steve Buscemi. With the aid of the high-end graphics card and processor, Jennifer Lawrence Buscemi, with a hyphen, was born. Villain Guy says the level of detail was achieved thanks to hours of coding and programming as well. The video's viral spread online last week comes as numerous U.S. lawmakers sound the alarm over the potential of deepfakes to disrupt the 2020 election.
Oh, there you go.
A report from CNN indicates the Department of Defense had begun commissioning researchers to find ways to detect when a video has been altered. So they're already looking into what you were talking about, Rich. They want to figure this out.
Well, there's another question, which is what happens to video used as evidence in court?
This is a huge question.
This is a huge question. There's a good reason that you can't bring a painting of an event in and use it as evidence in court.
Right.
It's because somebody created that. Even if you're sitting there watching it.
Yep.
It's not what really happened.
Right, and so now that we know that the average computer nerd with a graphics card can do convincing fake videos like this in the year 2019, it's just going to get easier. It's going to get more affordable.
The thing we have to do is make sure that the common people know how easy it has become and how powerful. And I guarantee you, the CIA was able to do this 10 years ago.
More coming up. Join us here, Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
This is the Onion Week in Review. A month after the death of leader Kim Jong-il, North Korea's 24.5 million citizens have returned to their regular daily routines this week, holding a festive synchronized disco jump rope gala in Pyongyang's main public square. Life in the hermetic communist nation is reportedly beginning to normalize following the protracted mourning period, with citizens once again donning their brightly colored uniforms and performing intricate gymnastics routines in perfect unison.
It is an inspiring sight to see so many loyal citizens find the strength to unfurl their long silken streamers and do dozens of tandem backflips set to dance music.
Observers reported that new North Korean leader Kim Jong-un nodded once in approval of the disco jump rope gala, signaling an official transfer of power.
A recent study from the Centers for Disease Control finds that over 100 million children are being exposed to harmful levels of stupidity in their own homes. Hear the debate about secondhand ignorance on the next In the Know.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition of the program, as people are still trying to figure out the difference between fake news and real news. Now you've got a real problem on your hands, because fake video, they're calling them deepfakes, and we covered this story about this probably about a year ago here on Free Talk Live. Well, guess what? Technology just keeps getting better. The computing processing power that you need to do this stuff keeps getting more efficient, keeps getting cheaper. The software keeps getting better. They keep upgrading, and it's open source, so anybody can get in there and work on these deepfakes programs, and they are making some very persuasive-looking videos these days. One of them, they combined Steve Buscemi, the actor, with a different actor, or rather actress, Jennifer Lawrence, and put his face over hers, like melded his face, mapped, I think was the word you used.
I said mapped.
Richie Rich, mapped his face onto hers, and it is convincing.
Yes.
It's amazing work, and it took the guy who did it, he calls himself Villain Guy, a fair amount of time. He said he achieved the level of detail that he did with hours of coding and programming, but still, it's only hours to create a minute-long fake video that, had it been used for some sort of nefarious purposes.
Imagine how many hours the Russians have.
Exactly. Or, as you pointed out, Rich, the NSA or the CIA or the FBI, they certainly have the access to the resources that they need as far as computing power is concerned. They can, if they don't have the computer geeks on staff already, they can hire them to do this kind of stuff. And, you were involved in an undercover sting operation, Rich, as a victim of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute. Let's slow that down. I wasn't involved in the operation. Right. I was a target of the operation.
Yes, you were a victim, targeted by and victimized by that operation. What if the video footage that they had of you never actually happened in the first place? What if they had completely manufactured that footage of you in a hotel room with some guy who wanted to buy some weed?
It could have easily been done.
Right. And that was several years ago when that went down. It was 2012 or something like that. Now, this is literally a program you can download. You can do this if you've got the chops. You can do it from your home computer. You can fake video. And if we're talking about faking video of like a security camera, That's going to be way easier than this, because this is like a full close-up shot of somebody speaking into a camera that's been faked here. If you're talking about some grainy security video that shows Rich Paul breaking into the Walmart in the middle of the night, or whatever, breaking into the Watergate building, or wherever it is they want to put you, they can put you there now.
Right. Very easily.
Well, the other thing is, do they really need this tool with all the false allegations and suppression of evidence that they already have? Is this just another tool to convict people of crimes that they didn't commit?
Yeah, it could very well be that.
And do they need it? Because they're already pretty proficient at
no
that activity.
tool will ever be as effective in getting convictions against innocent people as plea bargaining.
Yeah,
plea bargaining,
which is what,
like
97%?
Yeah, 97%. So they've got 97% of people can be falsely convicted just by not being convinced not to put up a fight, because if they exercise their right to due process under either the 6th or the 8th Amendment, I can't remember which, then they will be further punished for exercising their right to question the facts.
Liberty.menu is a tool for the libertarian community. People for a long time have wanted in the libertarian community, that is, they've wanted a website they can go to and find other liberty-friendly businesses, an actual useful business directory with things that you can look at. There have been some really bad attempts at this over the years, and Liberty.menu is finally the right one. They finally did it, and it looks great, and it's easy to use, and it's got content there. Whether you're a business owner, or maybe you're an events coordinator, maybe you are a digital content creator, whatever. There's different categories for the thing that you do that other people within the libertarian community might find interesting. Anarchists, voluntarists, people who care about freedom, people who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle and reject the initiation of force. If you agree with those things, you qualify to use Liberty.menu. And it's free, so really, unless you don't want free exposure, then there's no reason not to go and do this. Over at Liberty.menu, you can use code FTL and get yourself a special badge. So these deep fakes, it's important to get this information out to people. It's important to see for yourself, because, again, we can't play the video for you on the radio. I will put the link to this story, which has the video of Steve Buscemi melded into Jennifer Lawrence, for you to see yourself. We'll put it out on our Twitter, our Mastodon, and Telegram. So if you want to follow Free Talk Live, twitter.freetalklive.com, toot.freetalklive.com gets you to our Mastodon page, which is like a decentralized version of Twitter. And then there's also telegram.freetalklive.com. I'm going to put it out there as soon as we're done talking about it here. But the important thing is that people know how accessible this level of technology is, because basically we're entering a time in our lives where unless you're in front of somebody, you're really not going to know if what you're experiencing through video or audio or whatever is the real McCoy. If it's, audio's been easy to fake for a long time, but now they've got to the point where I remember reading about the voice, the guy who does the voice for Optimus Prime, the Transformer. Peter Cullen is his name, and he's got like this, this epic voice that many millions of fans have loved him as that character over the years. He's getting old, and so they had him read a series of words that, in those words, every inflection, everything that you could say as an English speaker is contained within those words. And so they ingest those words that he read into a computer system, and then they can just type out whatever it is that they want Optimus Prime to say. And they will have Peter Cullen's voice for that character long beyond when he's dead. So we've had the audio technology there for a while. Now the video's there to where, to the human eye, it's hard to tell already that this is a fake. It's a fake because it's Steve Buscemi's face on Jennifer Lawrence's body.
When the real deep fakes come out, what does that do to public opinion? Yeah. And what the average person sees on the news or on the internet.
You won't be able to believe it. You won't know what you're seeing actually happened. You will have no base of knowledge or facts to really make a determination as to whether that's real. Mm-hmm. And so they're concerned because of the election, and I think the potential for hilarity with this is also very, very high. I mean, if you've got Donald Trump, anybody who's in front of a camera as much as a president of the United States has been photographed from every angle you can conceivably think of.
Yeah,
so
and even better videoed, because that tells you how he moves.
Exactly. Yep. So there are going to be deepfake Donald Trumps hitting the internet. If they're not already out there now, they're coming, and they're going to come in waves, and it's going to be hilarious.
See, there's part of me that's tempted to do Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton over a really nasty, awful scat porn. But I don't know if there's enough eye bleach in the world.
Two politicians,
I don't know how I could do it without seeing it.
Right.
So I will never.
You
do
could
it.
hire somebody from Fiverr.
That's it. Disposable people or people with absolutely no taste.
Right.
It would only take a couple of hours.
Let's go to the phones here. Gene, the Christian anarchist, is on the line and on our Discord server. Go ahead, Gene.
Hey guys, I've been a long-time fan of the Deepfakes. Called you about it before. You pretty much covered everything I was about to say in the last segment, but
sorry,
I did want to. That's exactly what I was thinking, was plausible deniability, because you know that anybody with a decent gaming computer and some time can make up one of these deep fakes, and they're real. They're very believable. Now, that's just with a gaming computer and some time. Just think of what NSA has. They've always had technology that goes beyond what the current level of technology is. I guarantee you that they have the ability to 3D model everybody, including their naked body, if they have that information, and tattoos and everything else. And then they'll be able to, just like in a video game, model that character in 3D in any situation, in any video. So you can show just me, for instance, shooting Kennedy or something. It would be a simple thing to do. So now, don't get the wrong idea. I wasn't in Texas when that happened.
It makes having multiple cameras really important, because if there are independent video streams, then even though you could map each video stream the same way, your chances of making two different video streams into deep fakes that you cannot cross-reference and find discrepancies in, I think would be almost impossible.
It would make it harder.
I think it would have to be the same person doing it.
All right, we got more
the
coming
same
up.
computer.
I don't know if Gene had more. If you do, you're welcome to hang on. Hour 3's next, 8:55, 450 free. You can join us here.
Heart-related health problems affect millions of people each year. Maybe you're one of the many who suffer from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, unbalanced cholesterol, irregular heartbeat, or clogged arteries. There is a solution that doesn't involve expensive prescription drugs that only mask the problem and leave you with horrible side effects. If you are ready to live your life free of sickness, pain, and fear, live your life with increased vitality, energy, and youthfulness, and experience your body healing itself, then you're ready for Heart and Body Extract from Healthy Hearts Club. Here is what one satisfied customer had to say about Heart and Body Extract regarding his angina pain.
I haven't had an angina pain since I've been on it. The Heart Body Extract is just so great. I thank God that I was led to this product that's doing so much for me, and that can do so much for other people.
Call to order your 2-month supply of Heart and Body Extract today. Call 1-866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Find us online at libertybeat.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your weekend edition of the Liberty Beat for the week ending February 1st, 2019. Gold opened Friday at $1,321. Silver opened at $15.97. And Bitcoin is trading around $3,442. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, Twitter has announced that it took down about 2,000 accounts in Venezuela, most of which it claimed were engaged in a state-backed influence campaign. That comes amid accusations of a U.S.-led coup attempt. The San Francisco-based social media giant released a blog post Thursday saying it removed 1,196 accounts located in Venezuela, which it deemed to appear to be engaged in a state-backed influence campaign targeting domestic audiences. Twitter also removed another 764 accounts and noted, quote, "We are unable to definitively tie the accounts located in Venezuela to information operations of a foreign government against another country," end quote. The Twitter purge of accounts was met with criticism and accusations of censorship. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has announced that the U.S. will withdraw from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty immediately, prompting threats of a Russian response from Moscow. Pompeo said the U.S. could return to compliance with the treaty if Moscow meets Washington's demands within the next 180 days. To convince the United States to back down, Washington has insisted that Russia cease development of a new cruise missile. Moscow has repeatedly denied claims that it's in violation of the treaty. The withdrawal will formally take place on Saturday. President Donald Trump said the United States' NATO allies support the decision to withdraw from the treaty. The U.S. has also expressed concerns that its compliance with the treaty has benefited China, which isn't a party to the agreement. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And Liberty Beat listeners right now can save 10% at checkout by using promo code SNLS. This is the weekend edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news. In a surprising vote Thursday, the United States Senate voted 68-23 to pass a resolution from Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, expressing opposition to President Trump's plan to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria, and expressing opposition to any theoretical pullout from Afghanistan that might result from a negotiated deal to end that war. The anti-media, citing antiwar.com, reports the non-binding resolution was passed with overwhelming support from the Republican majority, setting them squarely against parts of President Trump's foreign policy. A number of Democrats who voted against it expressed concern that it was tantamount to a vote advocating a state of permanent war. The 2001 authorization for the Afghan war was built around 9/11 and the defeat of al-Qaeda. Neither are hugely relevant issues in 2019 Afghanistan, and a peace treaty being negotiated centers heavily around the Taliban, promising to keep al-Qaeda and ISIS out of the country in the future. Congress never actually authorized the war in Syria at all, dodging that obligation repeatedly because of political concerns. President Obama invaded Syria unilaterally to fight ISIS, and President Trump has declared ISIS effectively defeated now that they virtually have no territory remaining. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. It's simple. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details on how to raise your business's profile in partnership with the Liberty Beat. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the weekend edition of the Liberty Beat for the week ending Friday, February 1st, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Last month, the FDA approved Hallucex, a new class of weight loss drug that helps users avoid overeating by producing nightmarish hallucinations whenever food is around. Hallucex targets the brain's cerebral cortex, stimulating the centers responsible for fear and visual processing. Test subjects reported an unprecedented decrease in appetite and showed dramatic weight loss, with only 18% reporting night terrors or subsequent cardiac arrest.
It's designed to make fatty and sugary foods even scarier. An apple just looks like it has fangs, but a milkshake will threaten you and your family by name.
Earlier incarnations of the drug proved to be too powerful and produced mental states in which test subjects no longer believed that food had ever existed. An unshakable belief that the subject had to eat all of the food on the planet in order to prevent food from rising up and destroying the human race.
No, you don't understand. I have to do this.
Or the conviction that food could be negotiated with diplomatically. With the Lab Report, I'm Aisha Patel.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll free, bring up whatever you want. Our number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. If you're just tuning in, we've been talking about deepfakes. Never heard of that term before? Well, many people probably haven't, because it's a relatively new technology that has gotten into the hands of just your average computer geeks at this point. Maybe some people who know a little more about coding than others. But if you've got the right tools, you can now take video, photos, but video is mostly what this is focused on. Video of, let's say, a Hollywood celebrity and map their face over top of, let's say, a pornographic film. That's where the news was breaking on deepfakes a year ago. Now there's a new deepfake video that has come out showing actor Steve Buscemi with his face mapped over top of Jennifer Lawrence, who is another actress. She's known for the Hunger Games films, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
She, in the video, it's Jennifer Lawrence's body at the Golden Globes. She's, speaking into a microphone, but the face is Steve Buscemi. And it's very, very persuasive. In fact, according to the story here at the Daily Dot, dailydot.com, last year, Representative Adam Schiff from California and other members of the House of Representatives wrote a letter to the Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coats, to raise concerns over the possible use of the technology by foreign adversaries. The letter stated,
I'm so much more scared of domestic adversaries,
Me too.
like the government itself.
Yeah. The quote, as deepfake technology becomes more advanced and more accessible, it could pose a threat to United States public discourse and national security, with broad and concerning implications for offensive active measures, campaigns targeting the United States. Said the letter. Researchers have already developed some methods for detecting the deepfakes. One technique, which is said to have a 95% success rate in catching altered videos, relies on analyzing how often an individual in a video blinks.
Oh, see? We talked about the eyes.
Quote, healthy adult humans blink somewhere between every 2 and 10 seconds, and a single blink takes between 1/10 and 4/10 of a second, says the Associate Professor of Computer Science at the University of Albany, Sui Liu, wrote in a Fast Company article last year, quote, that's what would be normal to see in a video of a person talking, but it's not what happens in many deepfake videos, unquote. However, these deepfakes will only become harder to catch as time goes on. Liu notes that the race between those generating and those detecting fake videos will only intensify in the coming years. While lawmakers have focused heavily on the potential national security ramifications, some experts remain skeptical. Thomas Ridd, professor of strategic studies at Johns Hopkins University School of Advanced International Studies, remarked on Twitter this month that fake news and conspiracy theories already thrive based on far less than altered videos. Ridd, who's an expert on the history of disinformation, argues, however, that deepfakes could lead some to deny legitimate information based entirely on the fact that such technology exists. Indeed. Like I said, we're entering a time where you're not really going to know that when you're watching something, because we've seen major news media organizations get fooled by fake stuff, fake news. Yeah, we've seen onion stories get picked up and run as actual news headlines in major media all around the planet.
Well, a lot of that is because it's getting very difficult to distinguish the real from the satirical at this point.
Yeah, that's something people are always failing to pick up sarcasm on Facebook, and I have the same issue. And it's like, well, it's hard to detect sarcasm since the world went crazy. Because sarcasm you can usually recognize by somebody saying something so stupid that nobody could possibly believe it. But then you have actual Marxists out there
and Donald Trump.
Really
and Donald
believe
Trump.
what they say.
Right.
And you have actual fascists out there who really believe what they say. So what is really too absurd to think that some idiot really believes this?
So you've got a problem with reality being hard to believe. Just on its own. Right. And now you add to that the fact that any video that purports to be real may be completely fabricated. So what is real these days? I mean, it's impossible to know.
My buddy has a game on Facebook. Is this a real Donald Trump tweet?
Right, but that's just the text.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell.
And it's hard to tell there. Mm-hmm. So then you increase that when it comes to video. Is this a real video? Is he really saying that? Because he says some pretty outlandish things, and if there's a deepfake video of it, how would you know?
Well, if you're driving a car or a country, please put Twitter down while you're doing it.
Yes, that's good. Although I got to say, it's pretty entertaining reading some of his tweets.
Yeah, I got to say.
Even the fake ones.
See, Donald Trump, the thing about him is, I mean, he's horrible, but he's hilarious. You know,
he is.
Just the things that he does, and watching the liberals' heads explode is
also hilarious,
entertaining.
Let's go to back to Gene, the Christian anarchist. He's still there on our Discord server. Go ahead.
Yeah, at the top of the hour, I think it was Rich Paul, as you guys were fading out, said something about, well, you need a lot of information to make these deep fakes, but that's wrong-headed thinking. Because that's thinking 20 years ago. Today, with a single picture, and I put a link on the Discord, today with a single picture, you can extract a 3D image of a person's face. And that's just what's known to the average computer programmer like you and me. There are things out there that we don't know, that we don't have information to. And I guarantee you
that's true, but if you're going to do a video of me speaking that is going to convince somebody who actually knows me, then you're going to have more than one 3D image of me. You're going to have to know how I move. You're going to have to know, if you're faking audio, you have to know what my voice inflection is.
Mannerisms.
Like.
You need mannerisms.
How about an impartial jury of 12?
But somebody who wanted to make a deep fake about you would get all that stuff. So I guarantee you that with today's technology, the government could produce any video they wanted to, and it would be indistinguishable from a real one. And they can. So currently, with today's technology, we need to doubt absolutely everything we see and hear. Because
I mean, there is no such thing as video evidence at this point.
Yeah, I mean, for example,
who's going to use that evil, it's going to be the government.
Yeah.
They will be the ones that will use that evil to their advantage.
Well, if plausible deniability is a thing.
Imagine if the fake videos that were released of bin Laden after he died, if he kept getting older instead of getting progressively younger.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they were doing it with bin Laden way back then. So just think what they can do today.
Well, if plausible deniability is a thing, let's go the other direction then. And what if you have home security video to protect your home, and someone breaks in, and because of the deepfake technology, right, all of a sudden they're claiming that it wasn't them.
You faked it.
You faked it.
You're trying to frame me.
Absolutely true. So we can't believe anything we see in the future.
That's how it is. That's the new reality. Is you don't know what's real.
That's right.
It's going to be sad.
I think that may be one of the reasons that the world is going crazy.
You said you find it liberating, Gene?
Yes, I find it liberating in a way, because now you can plausibly deny anything that they put in front of you. Now, that also, if you can transfer that plausible deniability to the jury, then the jury can really throw out any video evidence. And in fact, eventually they're probably just going to get rid of juries anyway, because juries are going to start doubting them, and they'll just get rid of them. So that'll be the end of the jury.
Just have a military
they've
tribunal.
already done that in 97% of cases by introducing the plea bargain.
Yes, and some states have reduced the jury from 12 to 6, and some states have reduced it from unanimous to 10 out of 12.
Oh, geez.
So they have
That's
been
dangerous.
crippling the jury for years. In fact, I wrote about this 35 years ago in a newspaper article about how the jury system was being crippled clear back then.
Gene, good call tonight. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on, at least we presume it was you. It could be a fake version of Gene. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Your comments on the deepfakes or whatever it is you want to discuss. You can take control of the airwaves here. This is Free Talk Live.
Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. Smart Cash also features smart rewards, a price stabilization mechanism, and a way to encourage long-term holding. Long-term holders are key to the project's success. You can earn smart rewards on any address for which you hold the private keys, which holds at least 1,000 smart for 1 month and does not make any outgoing transactions during that time. Smart rewards are distributed every 47,500 blocks to all eligible addresses. Learn more at smartcash.cc.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. That's AnyPay.global.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free and bring up anything that you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE. It's 855-450-3733. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. Hop on into one of our Discord channels. The on-air call-in lines are the first channels you'll see there at the top of our list over at discord.lrn.fm. But most people use the Discord just because they want to talk with other folks who care about freedom, people who listen to the show. With you in the studio tonight, it's me, Ian.
Rich Paul.
And Richie Rich.
Don't forget to check out Richie Rich. He's got his own podcast. It's called The Anarchist Experience.
Yes, sir.
Over at anarchistexperience.com. So let's continue here. Matthew is in Louisiana. We've been talking about, if you're just tuning in, the Deepfakes. This is new technology, or recently technology that the average person could get a hold of to actually make your own fake videos. Now, you may still need to be more of like a computer geeky programmer type to do it, but there are a lot of computer geeky programmer types out there now.
They're on the internet.
That can do this stuff. The software is open source. It's available to anybody. That means you don't have to pay to buy some fancy software suite. It's free, and it just keeps getting better to make videos that look very, very real, and essentially have made it to where, as Gene the Christian Anarchist was pointing out, you really just can't believe anything that you see anymore. I mean, it's just a surreal kind of world that we live in, where the reality itself is so bizarre and hilarious and ridiculous all at once. And then you add on to that the fact that every video that you could ever see from this point on could be completely fabricated, is just a very, well, as Gene put it, he says it's liberating.
I don't get that.
Well, you're liberated from having to know what the truth is, I guess, because you couldn't possibly.
If you want to. I like my 5 senses, and I kind of trust those.
You're liberated from the lack of plausible deniability that video gives you. Is
true.
You can get caught on video doing things like, nah, that wasn't
That's just
me.
a deep fake.
Let me show the jury deep fake videos of 3 different people on that
doing
security camera doing the same thing, and you tell me which one is real using your eyeballs.
So crime goes up.
Well, I don't know. Most of the things that people get prosecuted for aren't crimes, so
that's a good point too. Toll-free number tonight, if you want to join us here, 855-450-FREE. We go to Louisiana, where Matthew is on the line watching us on YouTube. Go ahead, Matthew.
Hey, first off, let me greet Richie Rich. It's been like years since I read your comic books when I was a little kid.
Did you like the Dollar Dog? That's what I get a lot.
Absolutely.
Do you have a dog named Dollar? No, I don't.
Now, did you choose the name for yourself, or was it your parents who actually named you Richie Rich?
I chose the name for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
One of those guys.
Was it inspired by the cartoon character?
Sort of.
Okay.
I mean, it's a short but long story. Like, I'm technically the third, so I've always carried the name Rich E.
Okay.
And then in college, I had a professor say, you got to drop the E to sound more professional. So then I was just Rich.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't really roll off the tongue. So my nickname, growing up was always Richie Rich.
Richie
so
Rich. You went with it.
I went with it.
All right. So, Matthew, what are you calling about?
So, well, we had this lady on Jeff Carrera's Ringside Politics of the Punch show calling in, going on and on about smart meters. I was like, good Lord. So I decided I got to go check this out. And I went to Google and Googled in, stories about smart meters, and most of it was just debunking all these various claims. And you get way down towards the end, and there's one story, it's a news story out of Las Vegas, about apparently these smart meters setting people's houses on fire.
Uh-oh.
But there's no follow-up. And I'm like, what? And then there's nothing else, no other results. I'm like, this is weird. So I go to DuckDuckGo. They actually have their own search engine site now.
Mm-hmm.
And I entered the same search terminology, and boy, did I get some results. And it is scary. Apparently, for reasons that I can't figure out, smart meters seem to catch on fire, and sometimes they take your house with them.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
So for those that don't know, these smart meters are the new technology of the power meter, that the old spinny dial thing that's on the side of your house. Well, now they've been replacing
the
those.
Old analog ones, the ones that were allegedly obsolete. And on the one hand, I do understand the utility company's desire to be able to read these things remotely so that it makes it, they don't have to send out a meter reader.
Right, it's expensive to send some guy to walk around to every single house and read physically a number off of a meter.
Of course, an analog meter combined with a webcam would solve that problem. Just keep a $50 webcam pointed at each one.
Would the webcam be provided by the electric company then?
Sure, much cheaper than a new meter.
So either way, I don't know if it's that much cheaper because you still have to send somebody out to install it. So, I mean, you've got the human labor time of sending somebody there.
Right, but I'm guessing those smart meters are several $100s each.
Yeah,
as opposed to $50 for a webcam.
There's no doubt they're not going to be cheap, but they're buying them on such a bulk level that they're probably not as expensive as you might think they are.
Replacing people's houses or repairing them isn't cheap either.
No doubt.
And I was surprised at the information they want to get from these smart meters. They're not just interested in your daily power consumption or even your billing period power consumption. They're interested in your hourly power consumption. And I'm like, why?
Well, so they can adjust it for peak times, I would imagine.
Well, why not just do, the normal business thing and build in the capacity to take care of the peak time?
Well, I mean, businesses run in a lot of cases on data. I mean, having data is useful so you can better run your business, so you can, market things better or whatever it is that they need the data for. I mean, I don't think there's some sort of diabolic plot here, although some people certainly think that about these meters. There's a certain conspiracy theorists community out there. If I recall, some of the claims they've made on our show include that the smart meters are like mind control devices, basically. Have you heard that one?
I have not heard that one.
I have heard that they emit RF frequencies that will cause cancer, which that I think is slightly absurd.
They almost certainly emit RF. All electronic devices do, but whether or not they've found RF that causes cancer, that's another matter.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could take care of that easily enough because it's hooked up to the power line, for God's sakes. You could use the ground wire to obviously send a signal anywhere you wanted it to go.
So with the smart meters burning the houses down, did your research turn up any reason why? Is it an electrical malfunction? Have there been recalls to certain models?
It seems to be spread across all the models that are currently in use. And it's not widespread, but compared to what the analog meters cause, which is 0 fires,
right?
Apparently there's a relay that the power company can use to shut your power off remotely, but in the process of being kept open, this relay overheats and apparently sometimes catches on fire.
Well, they got an incentive.
Pay your power bill or they'll burn your house down.
Thanks for the call, Matthew. I appreciate it, man. More coming up. Free Talk Live.
A doctor's office visit for erectile dysfunction on my smartphone? That's crazy.
No, that's the bestedpill.com. ED can affect 40% of men by age 40. Now there's a 95% less expensive option than Viagra. After a live confidential video consult with a fully licensed doctor, we ship medicines fast, free, and direct in discreet packaging. Read thousands of 5-star reviews. Click thebestedpill.com. That's THE bestedpill.com, the online doctor's office.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
A congressman recently revealed that legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free and bring up whatever you want. Our number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We're talking about determining the fake from the real, not just when it comes to news, which is what, has made a lot of headlines over the last couple of years, the so-called fake news, and trying to detect that. But also now detecting fake videos is going to get harder and harder to do with the technology out there known as Deepfakes. We're going to continue. I was going to say, here it's Ian with you.
Rich Paul.
And Richie Rich.
Go ahead, Rich. What were you going to say?
Oh, yes. We're actually experimenting like this. What I'm rolling right now is actually much browner than it appears on the studio cam for those of you watching. It's but we've made it appear to be green just to Very easy transform to do.
Amazing technology, yes.
You can't trust what you see on the studio cam.
Nope.
No.
And you really can't believe anything anymore unless you're actually there in reality to see it happen, because everything is questionable at this point. All video footage can be faked, and it's getting easier than ever to do that. There's a little bit more analysis here from some of the folks over at the Daily Dot article, dailydot.com, reporting on the deepfakes, where they spoke with someone from Johns Hopkins University School of Advanced International Studies, Thomas Ridd, professor over there. He is an expert on the history of disinformation. He argues that deepfakes could lead some to deny legitimate information based entirely on the fact that the technology to fake information exists. So
that's a plausible deniability.
Right. So you're showing somebody a real video, but they're like, that's fake. Well, I know they could have faked that, but you're like, no, I recorded it myself. I know that it's real. Well, you can't prove that that's the original footage.
We go back to a society of storytelling because it's the only way to convey firsthand information.
The most concerning aspect is possibly deep denials, the ability to dispute previously uncontested evidence, even when the denial flies in the face of forensic artifacts, said Ridd. Although fears concerning deepfakes and subversion from malicious foreign actors draw attention in the nation's capital, fake videos could potentially cause much more damage to individuals. Granted, a fake video of a politician engaged in some sort of devious behavior could spread rapidly online before being debunked, but a similar altered video is used to blackmail, or if a similar altered video is used to blackmail a vulnerable person, it's likely no credible fact checkers will be there to put out the fire. The practice of targeting ordinary women with fabricated videos has already begun. In one such example, a woman in her 40s told the Washington Post that just last year someone had used photos from her social media accounts to create and spread a fake sex video of her online. She said, quote, "I feel violated. This is an icky kind of violation. It's this weird feeling like you want to tear everything off the internet, but you know you can't." So, look, I think this is one of the things I've said before about all the, I guess, frustration that people have when it comes to nudity online, and the idea that if you take a selfie, a nude selfie or something like that, send it to a boyfriend or girlfriend, and then they maliciously leak that out, and after the breakup or whatever, they call it revenge porn, I think.
Yep.
I have said before that, look, there's so much porn on the internet that, like, the fact that you're naked on the internet really doesn't make a big impact on anything. It's not uncommon for people to be naked on the internet. So I've just kind of felt like, what's the big deal? If it's that big of a deal, then, don't take nude photos of yourself. But at this point, all you have to have is just any photos of yourself online for somebody to make a nude version of you on the internet.
And that would certainly matter to a modern day Iago, who, if you haven't read Othello, Iago tricks Othello into believing his wife is cheating on him, and Othello kills his wife. Well, there's all kinds of opportunities for that sort of thing. And as you say, if you claim to be a friend and show up with you're having sex with somebody else's wife, he's probably not got a fact checker handy to say, hey, I can process this video and determine that it's actually fake.
Just acting on impulse at that point.
Exactly.
So the point here is, if you're worried about somebody making a nude video of you, well, then it's too late. If your pictures are already out online and somebody has the time and the interest to do it, then there's going to be a nude video of you.
I can see this being the next level of Bitcoin email scams.
You mean like extortion?
Right. Because right now it's floating around, and I know some people that have got them, where it basically says, the hacker or, the scammer says that they got your passwords, they've hacked into your computer, they've said they've taken video of you, handling your business while watching pornography, and unless you send them Bitcoin, they're going to release it. They're going to release it to your friends and family because they have your contact list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now if they can do a deep fake with basically a profile picture of you on social media, then there's even greater evidence that they could use to extort you, because then they have video.
True.
If you care.
If all they're working with is a facial video, then not to put too fine a point on it, they don't know how I'm hung. They don't know if it, tends to lean left or lean right.
So you could prove that it was fake by showing the real thing, right?
Well, I could, but you can only do that once, because if you do it publicly, then they've got a picture of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the people who are all worried about this, I don't think there's really any reason to be concerned. Oh, no. There's a naked video of you on the internet. Welcome to the internet, where there's a zillion naked videos of people. Like, it's going to get to the point where people should just be laughing at it. Like, oh, somebody used my face and put me in a nude, porn video. Like, it's not going to be the end of your world, because eventually everybody's going to know it could be fake. And eventually they're going to get tired of seeing all their friends' faces on, porn videos. Like, it's just going to get so commonplace that it won't matter.
So maybe we should all just go out and do deep fakes of ourselves and put them out there, so it's like, okay, you've seen a fake naked me on the internet, and I'm actually, not quite that well hung, and it's okay, because that's actually not me. But you want to show me a fake video of me? I'll show you a fake video of me.
Because anybody can do this at this point, and it's only going to get easier. So, I mean, I understand why the woman's upset. She calls it a violation. But the reality is, it's just a creative work of art. I mean, you might not agree with it. You might not like it, but that's what art is. It has people, they have different feelings about it, right? Like, you can feel strongly about a piece of art. You can hate it, but another person might actually love that very same piece. And
because all value is subjective.
Right. So I'm just saying, look, lady, your life is going to be all right. Whether there's a fake video of you on the internet, or you actually put a real video of you on the internet, or you gave it to your boyfriend, then broke up with him and he put it on the internet, odds are it's not going to stop you from getting that next job that you want to get. And if it does, maybe you didn't want to work for that person in the first place. And what are the odds that your next job interview is going to be looking through, porn sites to try to see if you... I mean, how does that even happen? What do people think is going to happen because there's a video of them naked, whether it's real or not, on the internet?
Well, one assumes that they would target it, send it to friends and family, maybe send it to current coworkers rather than people you're about to interview with. So that could... I mean,
it's something to talk about around the water cooler.
Nobody wants to be lied about, except, some people do want to be.
Well, and business owners can be pretty finicky about hiring practices.
About who they have working for them.
Because you become, even in your off time, right, you become an agent of the organization.
But this now gives you the plausible deniability to deny a real porn videos of yourself, right? So if you've actually got a real video out of you that your ex has, they're mean and nasty, and they've released it on some revenge porn site. So there's an actual real porn video of you out there. Well, now all you have to do is just claim, oh, well, that's a fake.
Obviously a fake.
Right? Yeah, I would never do anything like that.
I'm an upstanding citizen.
Yeah, toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE.
Lying down.
And for those unwilling to take the time to learn how to develop your own deepfakes, you can simply pay to have it done. A now banned community on Reddit, known as r/deepfake service, was found to be selling this content in early 2018 to anyone willing to give them at least 2 minutes of source video. More coming up in moments. Cigarette ban possibly coming to Hawaii. We'll tell you about it.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Gold is a better way. Gold is a better way. Gold is a betterway.com. Imagine doing business with a company that seeks to add massive value before asking for your business. Hi, my name's Adam Barata. I'm the co-owner of Advantage Gold and the author of the now national best-selling book, Gold is a Better Way. This book may not be for you, but if you're like most people, you'll be blown away when you learn why gold is set to soar to over $10,000. And as a bonus for hitting the bestsellers list, I've been gifted 250 copies from my publisher. If you have an IRA or 401k with over $100,000, I want to send you a copy of the national best-selling book. You can buy it on Amazon or go to Barnes & Noble or be among the first 250 people to reply. Just text the word bestseller to 49776. That's bestseller to 49776 to claim your free national best-selling book now. That's the word bestseller to 49776. We promise to add massive value before ever asking for your business. Just text the word bestseller to 49776.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves here. Our number 855-450-FREE, like freedom. If you want to join us, you can. You can bring up anything that you want. 855-450-3733. Smart Cash. It is one of the newer cryptocurrencies out there in the world. It's been, I think it's been around for a couple of years, and got our attention recently because it started popping up on various different libertarian podcasts. Roger Paxton has Smart Cash as a sponsor. There's a few other folks in the Liberty world that are also sponsored by Smart Cash. So they seem to have good taste in who to advertise with, and they sponsored Free Talk Live this last month, which was a decision made by the Smart Cash users because, yeah, Smart Cash is a cryptocurrency. That means it's fast, it's secure, it's easy to use. But one of the things that makes it different is their Smart Hive Project Treasury, where anyone with any amount of Smart has the ability to vote. One Smart is one vote. And so if you have more than one Smart, you have more than one vote in how to run this crypto. They've got a certain budget every month that they can allocate to different proposals, and you get to vote on those proposals simply by holding on to some Smart Cash. Go to smartcash.cc to learn more about it. You'll also learn about Smart Rewards, which actually rewards you on a monthly basis if you have at least 1,000 Smart. And right now, one Smart's worth about a cent, so it's not hard to get 1,000 of them. You get 1,000 Smart, you put it into a wallet that you control the keys for, and then you just hold it. You don't spend out of that wallet. If you hold on to it for at least a month's time, you're going to get some Smart Rewards if you hold onto it for the right time in the months. Because I actually started with my Smart Wallet just after they gave the rewards out
in November, so I had to wait a little longer than a month. But either way, once you hold on to it and you keep holding it, you'll keep getting the Smart Rewards roughly once a month. It's pretty cool, and you can learn more about it over at smartcash.cc. It's Ian, Rich Paul, and Richie Rich here in the studio tonight. We've been talking about the reality and how it's hard to discern what's real from what's fake these days, and it's just going to get more difficult to the point where it's probably not even worth bothering, because you really never will know for sure unless you witness something happen in real life. And even then, eyewitness testimony is notoriously unreliable. At least that's what they found in courts. So let's get back into some other related news. And this, you had mentioned this to us, I think, before the show tonight when we were at the sports bar. We went to Social Sunday, which is the weekly kind of libertarian hangout event that we have.
Yeah, came across my news feed. I just brought it up.
Michael Hampton actually dug up the story here. Hawaii News Now reporting on, and you're from Hawaii for those just tuning in. In 2016, Hawaii became the first state in the nation to ban the sale of cigarettes to anyone under the age of 21. Now lawmakers are looking at even tougher prohibitions around cigarette sales. Under a proposal before the state legislature, cigarette sales would be effectively banned outright by 2024.
Ridiculous.
For everyone. No cigarette sales whatsoever. Now, I don't know if it's just cigarettes or if it's going to include cigars.
In the legal market, at least.
That would be a gangster's paradise.
You mean moving in illegal cigarettes?
Selling cigarettes there. Yeah, you'd make a fortune. My God,
Sure
you think
would.
you make a lot of money off
Off weed.
and cocaine. My God, when people have to get their cigarettes on the black market.
Yep. The price will go up.
Yep.
The ban would go into effect progressively, starting with raising the minimum age for buying cigarettes to the age of 30 in the year 2020. By 2022, they would raise that to 50, so no one under the age of 50 would be able to buy cigarettes. And then 2 years later, no one under the age of 100 would be allowed to buy cigarettes. So for the few centenarians that live in Hawaii, they will continue to be able to smoke legally.
They can enjoy a smoke for the last few years.
And they can run to the store for you to get a pack of cigarettes, too. So they'll be slow, but they'll get there eventually, I hope.
I had some friends who got wiped out in the 21 increase.
Really?
Right? Like they were old enough. They were 19 or 20.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, the very next day, they had to find someone else to buy their smokes again. How ridiculous!
Yeah, and the cops, of course, can just stop you on the street if they think that you're under the age of 21 and use what their opinion is about how you look as probable cause to conduct a search.
I would imagine.
Yeah, which I find that to be particularly legally questionable, but very few people who end up in that circumstance are going to actually challenge the ticket. They're just going to pay it, and they're just going to move on.
That's what Rich Paul was saying earlier with the 97% plea out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
Even on little things like that, if you don't fight them, all of a sudden it's just another tool.
It's an automatic win for them. The measure is House Bill 1509. They say it's a long shot here. It passed its first reading last week, a procedural hurdle, and has been assigned to committees, but it doesn't yet have a hearing. That doesn't mean it won't get one, especially after news of the proposal started generating headlines nationally. The authors of the bill, 2 Democratic representatives and a Republican, so it's bipartisan, say the proposed ban simply makes sense.
Democrats and Republicans hate us for our freedom.
One of the people, I don't know if they cite who it was, says, quote, "The cigarette is considered the deadliest artifact in human history," they write. I would say that's government.
Tell that to the people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right.
Or the millions killed by their government. The nation state is the most
worst.
deadly artifact in history.
The cigarette is an unreasonably dangerous and effective productive, I think they mean product, killing half of its long-term users. Well, I mean, everybody is going to die eventually, so I mean, what is it the cigarettes that did it or something else?
In the long run, we're all dead.
George Burns made it to 100 as a regular tobacco smoker, right? So
Didn't he credit that, the cigar a day?
to his longevity? Some 13% of Hawaii adults are smokers. That's lower than the national average of 17%. Hawaii also has one of the nation's highest cigarette taxes at $3.20 a pack. And more than a decade ago, the Hawaii legislature significantly expanded smoke-free zones and included e-cigarettes in the same prohibitions 3 years ago, which is a stupid thing to do. The e-cigarettes, of course, have been very helpful for a lot of people who had significant addictions to nicotine. They got off of smoking, they moved to the e-cigarettes, and a lot of them stayed there. Some people went back, but a lot of them stayed with the e-cigarettes, and they like it. Rich, you've got the e-cigarette in your hand right now, although you've been back on tobacco smoking as of late.
Yeah, I actually just recently rebought this. I lost my last mod, so it kind of reminds me of when I studied scuba diving.
Mm-hmm.
There's a time when you're underwater and you don't really believe that you can breathe, and your body wants you to get out of the water and get this thing out of your mouth so you can breathe. And then after a while, you kind of relax into it, and your body says, "Okay, I can get the oxygen down here," so it's cool.
And you're saying this is like that?
And this is like that in that, your body attaches chemicals and the results of chemicals to flavors and artifacts, and so you're retraining the body to associate something else with nicotine.
Let's go to Alfred in Ulfo. I don't know where that is. Alfred, you're on Free Talk Live, watching us on twitch.lrn.fm. Alfred? Hello?
Yeah, hello?
You're on the air.
Hey. Yeah, awesome. Hi. I just subscribed on Twitch, so I can
Thank you.
Chat as well. So you guys were talking about vaping, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually a vapor myself, and I heard you talk about like the black market and cigarettes and stuff, so I thought that was interesting, so I wanted to join into the conversation. And you said it's hard to get into vaping. It's not just about like adjusting to how you ingest the smoke, but it's also like a lot of technical aspects as well that I think are holding people back from getting into it as well. What do
you think it's a technical aspect that's holding people back from vaping?
Yeah, like at least like I live in Norway. We don't have dual pods here, like at the same level.
You're in Oslo. Okay, I couldn't. They didn't type in the city correctly. They They spelled it Ulfo. Like, where is Ulfo?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm from Norway, so it's like 4 a.m. here.
No. Okay, so yeah, thanks for sticking with us late there. Now, so what is the situation there in Norway with vaping?
So we have like 2 shops in like the capital of Norway. We have like 2 shops that actually sell vaping equipment. So it's hard to get into.
I see.
But once you're in, you get a lot of help, and there's like a large community around it, and it's great.
Do you think it's a good thing that it's difficult to get into vaping?
Yeah, and we don't sell nicotine products at all. You have to add it yourself.
Okay. Because one of the things that concerned me about the article, it was the 13% of adult smokers. Like, who's going to stand up for those people? Because they're obviously outvoted in the majority.
Alfred, I wish we had more time to talk. Unfortunately, you called right at the end of the show, so unfortunately, we are out of time. But check out more Free Talk Live. We'll be back tomorrow night. We're on every single day from 7 to 10 at night Eastern Time, and I guess that's just before sunrise in Norway time. So we'll see you tomorrow. Online in the meantime at freetalklive.com.
Are you about to meet the media? If you're about to be interviewed, do their homework for them. Know this about the person who will interview you. He or she is busy, so expect minimal, if any, preparation. He or she doesn't know as much about your topic as you do. He or she isn't as concerned as you are about getting your message out, so you need to take responsibility. Provide a biography and fact sheet, photographs, or other materials that tell your story. Reporters won't be put off if you supply frequently asked questions. Remember, Public Speaking 101, at the end of the speech, what's the one thing you want them to remember? You can download the document I supply to reporters who interview me and squirm through a video that demonstrates how not to conduct your media interview at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Find us online at libertybeat.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your weekend edition of the Liberty Beat for the week ending February 1st, 2019. Gold opened Friday at $1,321. Silver opened at $15.97. And Bitcoin is trading around $3,442. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, Twitter has announced that it took down about 2,000 accounts in Venezuela, most of which it claimed were engaged in a state-backed influence campaign. That comes amid accusations of a U.S.-led coup attempt. The San Francisco-based social media giant released a blog post Thursday saying it removed 1,196 accounts located in Venezuela, which it deemed to appear to be engaged in a state-backed influence campaign targeting domestic audiences. Twitter also removed another 764 accounts and noted, quote, "We are unable to definitively tie the accounts located in Venezuela to information operations of a foreign government against another country," end quote. The Twitter purge of accounts was met with criticism and accusations of censorship. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has announced that the U.S. will withdraw from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty immediately, prompting threats of a Russian response from Moscow. Pompeo said the U.S. could return to compliance with the treaty if Moscow meets Washington's demands within the next 180 days. To convince the United States to back down, Washington has insisted that Russia cease development of a new cruise missile. Moscow has repeatedly denied claims that it's in violation of the treaty. The withdrawal will formally take place on Saturday. President Donald Trump said the United States' NATO allies support the decision to withdraw from the treaty. The U.S. has also expressed concerns that its compliance with the treaty has benefited China, which isn't a party to the agreement. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And Liberty Beat listeners right now can save 10% at checkout by using promo code SNLS. This is the weekend edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news. In a surprising vote Thursday, the United States Senate voted 68-23 to pass a resolution from Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, expressing opposition to President Trump's plan to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria, and expressing opposition to any theoretical pullout from Afghanistan that might result from a negotiated deal to end that war. The anti-media, citing antiwar.com, reports the non-binding resolution was passed with overwhelming support from the Republican majority, setting them squarely against parts of President Trump's foreign policy. A number of Democrats who voted against it expressed concern that it was tantamount to a vote advocating a state of permanent war. The 2001 authorization for the Afghan war was built around 9/11 and the defeat of al-Qaeda. Neither are hugely relevant issues in 2019 Afghanistan, And a peace treaty being negotiated centers heavily around the Taliban, promising to keep al-Qaeda and ISIS out of the country in the future. Congress never actually authorized the war in Syria at all, dodging that obligation repeatedly because of political concerns. President Obama invaded Syria unilaterally to fight ISIS, and President Trump has declared ISIS effectively defeated now that they virtually have no territory remaining. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. It's simple. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details on how to raise your business's profile in partnership with the Liberty Beat. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the weekend edition of the Liberty Beat for the week ending Friday, February 1st, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. The latest edition of The Tom Woods Show is next on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.fm. Get more at tomwoodsradio.com.
The Tom Woods Show, episode 1333.
Prepare to set fire to the index card of allowable opinion. Your daily dose of liberty education starts here. The Tom Woods Show.
Folks, the 2019 Contra Cruise is going to be coming up before you know it. It is the libertarian event of the year. Naomi Brockwell, a guest on the show, recently said it was the best event she had ever been to. We're going to be joined by special guests Gene Epstein and Brad and Deidre Berzer this year. Join Bob Murphy and me and a ton of wonderful, genial folks for the adventure of a lifetime as we set sail for Alaska July 5th through the 12th, 2019. Get the details at contracruise.com. Hi, everybody. Tom Woods here. I missed an episode this week. It's going to be just 4 this week. I was in the emergency room with somebody very dear to me for a solid 24 hours. And it's just one of those cases where suddenly something just happens and you can't plan or prepare for it. But anyway, everything's fine with that person, but that just drained the life out of me. So it's just 4 episodes this week. However, 2 nice things to tell you. Well, no, I'm only going to tell you one of the nice things. The other one I'll give as a surprise in the coming weeks. But the nice thing is, coming up in the next few weeks, I'll be doing a bonus episode with our friend Brad Berzer. And yes, it's going to be the music episode you've all been demanding. You've all been saying, Woods, where's that bonus episode on music? Actually, some of you have. Isn't that funny? Some people have been asking for that. Brad doesn't know it yet, but he is being recruited for that episode coming up. So you'll have a bonus episode coming up in a few weeks, and it'll be fun. Brad and I, even if you don't find any interest in this, I mean, our conversations are so much fun. And Brad is one of the special guests. He's a professor at Hillsdale College, as you know, author, and all-around great guy. He and his wife, Deidre, who have both taught courses at libertyclassroom.com, are going to be among our special guests on the Contra Cruise this year, July 2019. That's going to be fabulous. There's no way going to Alaska with us and hanging out with us all week is a decision you're going to regret. That's impossible. So since it's impossible, go ahead and reserve your cabin as soon as you can over at contracruise.com. All right, today I'm going to do a little chit-chat with you folks, and then next week I've got some interesting topics coming up with some guests. So we're going to be talking about, quote, affordable housing and what the government has to do with that. And we're going to talk to the author of a book called The Myth of Religious Violence. Now, that's going to be an episode people are going to comment on without actually listening to it. They're going to say, well, I can't believe, I mean, I know for sure that, I know. Listen to his thesis before you hyperventilate, okay? So it's an interesting book, top-notch publisher, very interesting person. So we got that coming up. I got a bunch of great topics coming up for you next week. But what I wanted to end the week with was a thought I had the other day, because there are certain things that jump out at me and really appeal to me that I want to convey to people. And I realized that there is a connecting link between them all. And maybe this was obvious to all you folks, but it was not obvious to me until a light bulb came on the other day. And that is, I look over so many of the things that I'm committed to and that I feature on the show and topics that I like to discuss, and I realize they have something in common, which is they help to bring about a kind of a personal